What's up, everybody? Sensei here. Welcome to the show. Welcome to another Electric Live. And we have a treat for each and every one of y'all. We got Stockholm, Sweden in the house. We got Mike and we have Sergey in the house. First of all, Green Master Mike, what is going on?
What's up, brother? I'm ready for this.
Me too. Gentlemen, you guys really don't need any introduction. You guys are legends. And thank you for coming on. We want to thank everyone for joining us this fine Sunday, wherever you are on the globe. And we're just going to jump right into it. Now, I know, Mikey, you have some questions for Sergey / icafe. So if you want to kick this one off, and then I'll come flying back over the top.
Okay.
Again, I want to thank everyone for joining us. If you can do us one favor, smash that like button, and we are going to get started.
Okay, so I want to know about Sergey because I've been dying to know about Sergey for years, not just days, years. So, how did you get started into electric unicycles? What made you start like to shop all this? How did that go down? And what was your first wheel?
Oh wait, guys, it was. I'm a 62 now. This was
Still
like
young.
in my 30s, 40s. I was always dreaming about flying. Flying, but not helicopter flying, not airplanes. But man, I was just dreaming. One day I just wake up and I had a magnificent dream about I was flying, but with some connection to the ground. It was exactly like unicycles, but it was before unicycles. I was just dreaming like that. It's like a tornado. You can just fly, but you still keep the foot on the ground. It was like crazy dream. I was still thinking about it, how it's pretty good idea, at that time we had a lot of jet packs, people flying, and it's really dangerous. You dream about flying with jetpack on your back, right? But there's no way to escape.
Yeah.
You cannot use parachutes.
No.
It's too low for the ground to open the parachute. So it's no safety at all. Safety is zero at this point. So I was still dreaming about this kind of flying mode, close to ground. And I was thinking, when you just have a small patch on the ground, then it's no much batteries, no much fuel needed.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to Frank Zapata and another guy from who did these jetpacks with jet fuel, and it was crazy, to have like 40 liters.
Yeah, strapped on your back.
Yeah, you have a bomb on your back.
It takes 5 minutes to empty it.
Yeah,
it's not for me. So then we did a lot of like crazy constructions, like one wheel, but with steering wheel tube on it, so you can just fly on one wheel, just lying, using gyro. Basically, it's a gyro. It was a start point. Then you have gyro in iPhones, and it's about iPhone time. It was like 2007, 2005, I think it started like this with one wheel construction. This plate. You call it one wheel in the US now.
Yeah.
The one wheel.
The skateboard with the wheel in the middle.
Exactly. Yeah, the future motion.
Future motion, guys. Yeah. But what we did was like motor with chain on it. So it's basically as I was talking to Mr. Chen at Solar Wheel. It's American guy too. The Chinese American.
Mm-hmm.
He was a inventor actually of all unicycles, basically. solar wheels, and I get contact with them, to try to get it into Europe. And then, all these things started with all these copies, Chinese copies of solar wheels. It was before Bigodis.
Yeah.
Like
So Solo Wheel was the
was
first.
the original one, yes.
Yeah.
The original unicycle. You call it solar wheel, yeah.
Yeah. Were they the ones that made the IPS, or was that
Ex-
something else?
No, IPS was a copy of solar wheel.
Uh-huh.
Actually.
Okay. Yeah.
And
All right.
air wheel and all rocker wheel.
Yeah.
All these wheels.
Yeah. Oh, Rock
Motor
Wheel.
wheel,
That was
yeah,
a long time
yeah.
ago. I heard about the
Like,
Ross Wheel.
it's-
There was an SBU made by.
It's blue with another thing with a seat on it, It was like
yeah.
high thing, and so it was a lot of constructions. Even all these Voi scooters came that time. You was not sure what's a good construction to for personal mobility.
Right.
And was unicycles was the craziest one because it's
Yeah.
it was totally it's crazy.
Yeah.
Everyone was scared about
Hand-free.
it. Hands, but not hand free, but people thinking no, one wheel you can just
Yeah.
face plant. It's
And
everyone
a
cut
lot of
out
people still think that they
Exactly,
still
but
think that.
this
Yeah.
is what we're working
Yeah.
on, because at that time all these unicycles was like even it was motorcycles with one wheel, for the real, like Rhino and some other thing.
So the
Bombardier.
Rhino was this big motor, and it had handlebars and a seat.
Yeah.
So it was like a one-wheeled motorcycle. That's the one that he
I have them
he has
in basement.
some of those, not the actual Rhino, but some predecessor to that. And
Wow.
he took off the steering wheel and the handlebar and turned it into an electric unicycle, put a Monster Pro motherboard in there and a pack, and called it the SAR wheel. And I swear 9 out of 10 people that have seen that clip say that it's made in AI. They say, yeah, Mike made a fake clip where he's riding around on an AI wheel. Stupid AI trash.
Hey, is that
Like,
the wheel that's
it's
got that
hilarious.
big old
Yeah,
chrome
boy.
thing around it like this?
Exactly.
Wow.
The
Look
one
at
that'll, the ball scratcher.
The ball scratcher, exactly. And then because people went on and on about the ball scratching, and actually, when I was riding it and it was winter and I had my ski pants on, the tire started rubbing through my ski pants. So then
Oh,
he had to butcher the wheel and put an aluminum top on it.
Yeah.
So now it
Wow.
doesn't look like that old cartoon called BC, where he's riding like a stone with 2
You
sticks out
had
of
to
it.
go to BC. Damn, that's a good one.
That's a good one, man.
That's
BC,
so funny.
exactly. She called it the BC wheel, but it's the SAR wheel, right? It's the SAR
Wow.
wheel. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So-
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
So keep going, Sergey. This is interesting, man. This is good.
Yes.
We're getting
It was
history
great
here.
time to discover the possibilities, and there was always. I was talking to a lot of guys all around the world. It was good creation time, people just creating things in garage and just discuss with each other and try to help each other to achieve this dream. And it was a crazy time. And from the beginning, there was really, small creations, like very innocent small wheels, like for what we call now for beginners, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like V5 and Kingston and all this small things, and they was not so powerful.
Yeah, they were
It was
just
like-
baby wheels back
Yes,
then. We were
yeah.
happy we could balance on one wheel. man.
Maximum
Yeah.
15 kilometers per
Yeah,
hour.
yeah, but that was a
Wow.
miracle,
Yeah. And when I just ordered my SAR wheels, just prototypes from China, they put Chinese guys put one wheel motorcycle in the description.
Yeah.
And this was stopped directly in
It stopped it
Swedish
in
customs.
customs.
Motorcycle, like,
Yeah,
and it was like 40 kilometers per hour. It was crazy.
yeah,
Today we just put
That's
in
nothing now.
kilometers. It's
yeah.
nothing.
It's
man.
nothing. Yeah,
At that time was like, no, it's not illegal. It's like selling drugs and people in one
Yeah.
country.
exactly. You might as well import cocaine from China.
No.
It's like, no, it's okay. I'm not going to use it. I just want to import it.
Exactly.
I'm not going to snort it.
No, they tell me you
Just
can
gonna look
sell
at
it,
it.
but you cannot use it.
You can sell it, but you can't use it.
Exactly.
Great.
They
All right.
allow you to sell it, but you cannot use it.
That
So
is
it's
too
just like-
funny.
It's great fun.
Now, did you at that time when you got into it, was the iCafe where you were now, was that open?
Cafe started 2007 when I get my first iPhone.
Okay.
I was always into new technology.
Technology?
And do the things, and create. I like this mixture of electronics and mechanics,
Mm-hmm.
and unicycle it fits there exactly in a spot, so you can. It's basically only three things in unicycle, right? A motor, a battery, is a controller. What I
Yeah.
focus on, it's the triangle that I'm working on to for safety. From the beginning, it was question of performance. We try to make some powerful one wheel, and now we're there. You see,
Yeah.
we can ride 150 kilometers per hour, but
Yeah.
the safety, it's about performance and safety. You have always this competition.
Mm-hmm.
One day when I came here, like a few years back, you were working on a one wheel. You had a one wheel,
Yeah.
right? And he was holding the motherboard and he was doing this with the motherboard
Oh,
and the motor was accelerating.
Look at that. Wow.
Because we don't see that. We don't understand that. We're leaning and then we're trying to just say, yeah, but when you lean, then the wheel go fast, and when you go lean backward, then the wheel goes slow. It's like a super simplified thing. The gyro is on the motherboard, right? And it's the motherboard that's tilting. You're causing the motherboard to tilt, and when you're tilting the motherboard forward, the motherboard is saying, I want to be straight. So how do I get straight? I got to make the wheel go fast enough for it to
straighten
go
out.
under me
to
and
catch
straighten out the motherboard.
to
right?
catch up.
Yeah.
To catch up,
Wow.
exactly. So what's happening is that you're always upsetting the angle of the motherboard, and the wheel is always accelerating to try to stop
To
that.
compensate.
Exactly. That's all it's doing. It's just compensating forever.
That's all.
And in the olden days, the wheels would actually just compensate forever until they would run out of torque.
Exactly.
And when they run out of torque, then they can't hold you up anymore.
You just cut out.
That's
Yeah.
when we had the cutouts, right? Now we have tilt back.
Exactly. And it's same for my case that we have this.
Well, at least on Bigodi, yeah.
Yeah.
After all the firmware projects with Freestyler,
Exactly.
geez. So before that, it was like,
Imagine it's
yeah, you can set your tilt back at 50 miles an hour. It's like, great. But what happens when I'm at low battery? You're gonna
Yeah.
overlean long before you hit
You're gonna-
50 miles an
yeah.
hour.
That's
You
a
wanted
fact.
You gotta do the
PWM based.
PWMs, yeah.
Exactly.
now
exactly.
it's a standard.
Yeah.
It started with Bigodi, but
Yeah.
now everyone implemented.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was a Mikey initiative. He was talking to Bigodi guys to Freestyler and Daniel at
Yeah.
his
Testing.
experience, yeah.
Testing and testing. Hey,
So-
Tagut. How's it
Yeah.
going, man?
Got
Hey,
good
How's it
so
going?
Sergey, so after so I guess you started that way, but then what was like your first wheel? You said, okay, I'm gonna learn to ride fast, or maybe what was it, a Bigode? Was it a King song? Was it maybe something that don't exist anymore? What was
Yes.
that first wheel that you
What was
said,
the
this
first-
is the wheel I
No,
learned to ride on?
I was buying everything. I was like, it was addicted. I get addicted,
Yeah, it is
from the
addicting.
beginning. I was just buying everything from China, everything is a troll. On
So
one
you
wheel.
don't remember your first wheel? I mean, I've
No,
had a
it's
lot of
solid.
girlfriends at the same time, but I did have one first.
Yeah, you remember that
That's
first
the
one,
best
don't you, Mikey?
thing. This was-
Yeah,
Mine was the 9-bot 1E Plus.
same. Mine was a 9x1E Plus, man.
That
I went into sort of like a Walmart. I'm just like, I bought it,
at a Walmart. Wow, I didn't.
Well, not really a Walmart, but like an electronic shop here in Sweden. You could just walk in. It was like $600. I took it on the bus. I brought it home. I turned it on. I stood in the hallway and I tried to balance on it. And I was like, damn, I got scammed. I got scammed.
I think that was everyone's first initial thought. When
I
they get on
can't
these
balance on this. I must have bought a copy. This isn't a 9-bot. This is a blind blot. Did I read it wrong? So your first man, was it a IPS or was it a?
I catch them all. I have all of them. From the first one, it was solo wheel. I tell you.
It was solo wheel, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
It
Wow.
was yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one, but it's for commuting. It was.
And then you turned into the Pokemon hunter. You gotta catch them all.
Of
Then you got them
course.
all,
Gotta
man.
catch them all.
That solo wheel
catch
is very
'em all.
close to a V5, right? It's kind of close to that, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. It's almost
Yeah.
same category. Yeah, so you have a lot of them.
Quite a
Yeah.
few people started on a solo. I know I had an M10-3. That was my first one. I had an M10.
10-3?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's
I
a-
had the original M10 in basement actually. It's,
Yeah.
With solid rubber. Very small.
Solid rubber.
Yeah.
solid rubber, man.
So
There you go.
So Sergey, once you got your wheel, what I mean, did you get you like what when did you say, okay, I can ride now, I can give it a little bit of over here we call it give it the beans, you're gonna give it that when did you say, okay, I know how to ride, I'm going over 25 30 miles per hour? What wheel is that you learned that on?
No, from the beginning it was solo wheel. I was just riding here in a iCafe.
Yeah, but
Or-
what wheel did you start going fast on?
Fast.
Yeah. What
Oh,
wheel
it
did you
was
start
a-
doing like 50 kilometers an hour on?
No, it was Super.
There we go. I knew he was gonna say that.
That's
Yeah.
super. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Super.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
was
a
thinking
Super.
we were gonna say monster.
It's bulky one, the boxy one. It was really good.
Yeah.
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 I love it a lot. Yeah, it was good. And then,
Yeah.
They were
what is called?
legendary.
What you have here? ACM. It's
The ACM,
the
yeah.
ACM. I have
ACM.
16-inch.
So the
Have you broken
ACM
any
is
bones, Sergey? Have you broken any bones?
Yeah, of course. I do it every day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
What's-
rebounds.
What do you want to tell us about that?
Well, it's happening. Rebounds is for break. They have to, have to save you. So
it's like that's what ribs are for. That's his mindset, I mean, how, 2 weeks ago,
Oh.
2 weeks ago, I mean, okay, like a month ago, we're out riding, and I'm like, hey, look, Sergey, a grassy hill. I didn't even have time to put on my iPhone. I just want to at least make an iPhone. I got to make content and get some likes out here. He just goes straight up that grassy hill, doesn't do any recon at all, no scouting, no nothing, slips down, does a belly flop on it, and gets a twig that hit his glasses. And since he likes naked motorcycles and has to strip everything he touches,
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Oh no.
Oh man!
so the twig hit the glasses, and then it got this part of the plastic that he had stripped and removed the rubber, and it gave him a boxer's cut, man. So when we got back, then he's lying down here on the sofa and just holding on it for it to stop bleeding. And then I don't know what, if he applied too much pressure or too little or something, but after 30 minutes when he took it off, it was just like a stream. He was like a unicorn, a whole horn. Yeah, and then he's calling the hospital and saying, yeah, guys, can you guys send an ambulance? And he said, yeah, but you have to remove the cotton. He's got blood coming all down his face.
Oh
You have to remove the cotton so that we can assess the damage. And he said, but blood is literally going to...
That's
And
crazy.
he's like,
Fountain of blood.
we can't send an ambulance. There's too much traffic. So it's better if you walk.
What?
He takes 10 steps and a van of cops stops and sees him with blood streaming down his whole face and a towel. Because I'm like, Sergey, at least bring a towel.
So
You
there's
know?
not-
And
some
just like,
kind of violence is going on.
exactly, man, exactly. So then the
Oh my
cops-
god! That
then
must
the
have been
cops-
hilarious, man.
The cops drive him to the hospital instead.
Got a free
Okay.
ride.
That was some well-spent tax money, Got 4 cops instead of 1 ambulance rider. We got 4 cops instead. They could have been out stopping crimes, And
Yeah.
then he's at the hospital, and then 2 hours later he's out, and I'm waiting for him with a couple of beers down by the beach, and we go out riding. He's like, Mike, I got out of the hospital. I got to go out riding because otherwise this is just gonna stick inside me, and I got to get rid of this feeling.
Yeah,
we
that's
just,
right.
You
like,
gotta get back
You jump
on,
back
man.
on that horse, man.
You gotta
Yeah.
get back on
And
it.
2 weeks later, me, Sergey, and Elias go out riding, and then we come back here and we do the classic. We do the Russian classic and have a vodka shot, eat and a pickle. You have a vodka shot and you eat a pickle, That's a thing.
Yeah.
And then it's like we were like fooling around, and he was taking it easy. But I don't know what got into him after that. The day after, he calls me in the morning, and he's in the hospital. I'm
Oh,
like, what happened?
shit.
Oh, after you left, I was playing around with some stairs. And then
Oh,
it's like, I think they said I broke some ribs.
what?
They want to keep me here for a few days, but I want to go now. I'm waiting for the P6 to be delivered.
That's right.
cannot
That's a 3D UC
focus.
guy right there, through and through, right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Oh,
I get addicted.
man.
I need the help.
Yeah.
Guys, I need the help.
Well, hey,
Can't
what did
help.
you call that? The Russian what? Man, that was interesting. So a shot of vodka and you bite a
Yeah.
pickle after?
Yeah.
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 It's kind of
Oh,
like
you-
us
you-
Mexicans with the tequila and the lime
the
after.
lime.
Exactly. Yeah.
We all
Exactly.
in one.
Yeah.
That is
All right,
awesome.
got to try that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vodka, and then you just eat a pickle, or say he tends to have cornichons.
Mm.
You know what a cornichon is?
What's
the
it
little
called?
baby, the little baby pickle.
Oh, that's what they're called.
Oh, the little party pickles. The little.
That's
The little party pickle, yeah.
party
Yeah.
pickle.
It does the magic.
So Cobra saying his first wheel was the V8.
There you go. And
Tried the
after he
MSX.
tried the MSX and the Z10.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah.
Well, dude, that's like, MSX, man, that's a legend in itself right there.
Oof,
Yeah,
man.
it's good.
Yeah.
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 It's unlimited. You know what I like with this wheel? It was unlimited. At that time, big body guys was fearless. They just do this
Yeah.
crazy thing.
Yeah.
No safety at all. You
Yeah.
just get cutouts, but
Yeah. Yeah.
but it was great fun, to
Yeah.
to explore the top.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
Exactly.
Sergey, have you ever worked on Vesk? Have you ever used a Vesk?
Yes, I tried. It's it's a Pandora box.
Really?
That's it, Sam.
It's not-
Yeah, I got a buddy. His name's Austin, right? And right now he's got a Z10 that he's vesking right now.
Mm.
And when that comes out, I'll let you guys know, man. But yeah, he's like, you can push a lot more this way. And I was like, okay.
What can go wrong? I showed Mike Z10 a few weeks
Oh,
ago,
jeez.
and the main problem, as I see it, the motor is only on half size of on one side of the wheel,
Yeah.
right? So this is why it's getting so wobbly, because first you have a special down tire that's very, very
Very wide, man.
TP.
Very wide,
It's
very
like-
flat.
it's
Yeah.
That's
round.
a
It's very
it's
round.
4 inches,
Very
right? That
round.
tire?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's and then you have motor only on one side of the wheel, only on the right side. So
Yeah.
battery is not compensated, so it's be like, boy,
So the motor is so wide, or the rim is so wide,
rim is so
but
wide.
the motor is only on one half of the side.
So it's
Oh,
not
so
in the
that's
middle
just-
as we used to do it.
Yeah.
All
So the
other
weight
wheels,
is
no,
off.
it's in the middle.
It's asymmetrical. Yeah,
Yeah, the
exactly.
weight's completely
And then they
off.
put the batteries on the opposing side, but it's not enough to offset the weight.
It's enough.
But it's close to the middle, so still fair enough, And then you have the tippy but high gyro tire. So, but I thought it was a super fun wheel to ride.
Imagine
Yeah,
gyro on one
So you
side
have a
of the wheel.
cutout.
It's like crazy gyros. It's just
that was
Yeah.
one of those
Well-
wheels that you can unlock. The Russian guy,
yeah.
the Russian
Yeah,
guy
uh,
that had
what's-
the M something 76 or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, he did the firmware for that.
Exactly, man.
you
Yeah,
could-
because you had the 9-bot 1E Plus, so we wanted to go a little faster on the 9-bot 1E Plus, right?
I downloaded that, and it did. I mean, I could only get about 35 miles per hour after I put his thing, but supposedly there was people hitting 38 with it
On the Z10.
with the
Yeah,
Z10. Yeah,
Yeah, Robert Ace was doing it.
yeah.
Robert Ace
Yeah,
was-
that was my first
Gooch.
cutout, my first serious cutout, man. I mean, I only had a helmet on, no other gear. I was a
Yeah.
little drunk. I'm riding
Yeah.
down the road, and the military, because I live in Mexico. Remember, I work in the United States. I work in San Diego, and I live in Mexico. It's a lot cheaper, and there's not so many rules over here. So
Exactly.
I'm fucking riding in the military. They're like in this big old truck. There's like 15 of them. They're like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, yeah. And I give it that, And then, hey, my son calls me. So I pick up the phone and I got him on speaker. And I don't realize I'm drunk, man. And the thing's going beep, 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 beep. And boom, it cuts off. Phone goes flying. I face plant into the ground, man. and I slid maybe like 10 feet on my helmet on my chin. You know, I get up, I got all scuffed up, man. The wheel was a little bit messed up. They're like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, you know how we're men, right, Sergey? I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay." I'm all fucked up though. I get back on the wheel and I just ride home all like a wounded fucking bird, man. That was horrible. It was my first cutout at about 30 something miles per hour, dude.
Well, lucky you were drunk, man, because then we got like the homing radar, you know, and it's just like, oh man, I'm so drunk. Yeah, I just want to go home and make some burritos, man.
Yeah, some tacos and some
I
taquitos.
need some tacos, man. It's Taco Friday.
You guys are the best, man. So gentlemen, so here we are now, right? And we are talking about the P6, right? I want to get you guys' take on a P6 right now because that's all the buzz.
Yeah.
Is it as good as people say it is? And what are your thoughts? Both of you guys just come firing in. What are you guys' thoughts on it?
Okay, I put quite a few miles on the P6, so this is what happened. Sergey ordered 2 P6s, right?
Right.
And at the time of ordering, and that's like the only P6s that are out right now still, they're the ones that they made the interior of the inside of the wheel well, the inside of the battery packs, they made them out of tissue paper, right? So if you look at them the wrong way, they're going to crack and disintegrate. And actually, the 2 P6s that he received, fresh out of the box, each one had a hairline crack in there.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay.
Well, there, you know, and also they don't shrink wrap the battery packs because if you start shrink wrapping and encapsulating everything, then it's going to overheat. And that's not good business for the Samsung 50S batteries. They can handle ADC, and after that you got permanent damage and degradation. So they did what they can to make the wheel work when it comes to the P6. But still, you got that little crack there, so fine. You solve that little crack, and then you sort of like say, okay, I'm going to baby this wheel a little. Maybe I'm not going to do 180s at a skate park with it. So he sells one of the wheel, and then I take the other wheel, and I take it home, you know. So hey, here you go. There's a fist bump for you. Thank you so much for letting me steal that wheel as soon, you know. Like, yes, I have a P6. And I said, yes, you got to look at it. Now I'm going to go ride it. You know, and
I'm into the first one.
Lucky I have other wheels.
Yeah, he's got like
100 wheels.
Yeah, he's got so many other wheels anyway. So I took it out for a ride, and then I started playing with the settings, and then I started playing with the tilt over time. And the tilt over time, that's where it happens. You know, this kind of adjustability, because the P6 wasn't a candidate before the latest firmware update. Mm-hmm. The latest firmware update that introduced this adjustability is what took it to the next level. So the street tire is a baby tire, and that baby tire is not really that high. So that's the kind of wheel that I would like walk over a curb. I would literally get off the wheel. I will walk the wheel over the curb. I will get back on the wheel, and then I'll go again, right? Because it's just unnecessary. Mm-hmm. It's just totally unnecessary. There, if you want to go bonk curbs, there are 5 other wheels you can go do that on. Just don't do it on the P6. Respect the P6. And so this tire and this ride feel and the carving and the gyro is perfect. And the linear feeling of the street tire is just perfect. So when you're leaning into it and you're falling off the side, there's just enough resistance so that you don't fall entirely off. So it's not tippy. It's just linear all the time with some gyro holding you up. So you can do fine lining on turns, and you can lollipop carve back and forth with a rubber band effect.
So, hey, Mike, really, really quick. So do you think keeping the 80-90 is essential for that? Because I hear that people put the 90-90 on it, and you don't get that smoothness anymore as much.
Well, what happens when you get the 90-90 is that you're getting a larger tire with a larger contact patch on a wheel that weighs quite a lot. So what makes the P6 feel small is the baby tire. If you want to make a wheel feel small, you put a baby tire on it, and it will give you quite a bit of agility and will make it just easier to manage. And the weight distribution of it is just great. Yeah. As soon as you get a bigger tire, then everything is going up, and then the weight distribution is changing. It's not going to be as lower to the ground. And then you can ask yourself, well, does 1 inch matter? We can go survey some women and see what they say about that.
You might say, yeah.
Yeah. They might say, yeah. They might say, yeah.
It's a very thick inch.
Yeah. There you go. Like a poker chip, right? a whole poker chip. So
Yeah.
the P6, man, you get this pedal tilt over time, and then you set it to max 5 degrees downward tilt. So we're riding in this direction here.
Mhm.
And you set it to 5 degrees downward tilt, and you set it to 10 degrees per second. And then you lean, and the wheel leans with you. So what happens is that the wheel tilts at a certain speed, and when you back off, it tilts back at that
Okay.
same speed. So those are connected to one another. So if you're doing 50 miles an hour and you're using the tilt, and then you're not tilting anymore, it will just even out and it will maintain its speed. And then with the 10 meters per second, you can push again, and it will say, "Oh, I'm accelerating again. We're going again." And it will give you that little dip, that little assistance. And just that you can fine tune it, and you can separate the forward from the backwards. Because on the backwards, I only have 1 degree backward tilt in my braking. I have 5 degrees forward tilt in the acceleration. And this feeling of throwing yourself off the front, but it's tilting for you, that's different than when people do crazy leans on their wheel. When
Gotcha.
people do crazy leans on their wheel, then they're overpowering the wheel, depending on the wheel, and they're skipping through the motor and they're sliding out, or they're overpowering the battery system by doing that kind of thing. So the P6 makes you think that you're doing some really, yeah, I'm a smooth criminal. I'm a smooth criminal. Look at me, everyone. I'm a smooth criminal.
Michael Jackson, baby.
Exactly.
No,
Yeah.
more like this.
Yeah.
Man,
And it's
I
like,
hate leaning over a wheel like that, man. It's just not
yeah,
my thing, dude.
but once you start
Man.
doing that on the P6, and it's just like, okay, I'm gonna set my alarm for 50 miles an hour, and I'm gonna see how often I can hit 50 miles an hour in the most random situations. So I'm like
Right.
on a bike path, and there's a squirrel 300 feet away. I'm gonna hit 50 miles an hour and not kill the squirrel, And then it's like, okay, there's a red light over here. I'm gonna see if I can hit 50 miles an hour here, and then you just lean, and you can. When you start doing drag race stuff like that, it's such a feeling of infinite power. It's
That's
like having the
crazy.
Infinity Gauntlet on, and you just go,
The snap.
Like this.
and
Yeah.
Just
you're
go.
you're accelerating, man. You're accelerating. That's the thing. It's a very unfair advantage that makes it difficult for other wheels, but some wheels can replicate it to a certain degree.
Mhm.
But with this P6, and when you're doing this 50 mile an hour thing, it's just like the PWM is so low so that you have such a high safety margin. So it's like it's an amazing street wheel. It's just like as a street wheel, it's untouchable. It's in its own category. It's not that it's in first and second place.
Yeah,
It's just like
exactly,
it's
dude.
an entirely own category.
Yeah.
The motor
Now-
overheats.
Cool.
Motor overheats.
Yeah,
So
it
last
does.
year,
I saw
right,
that at the
Michael?
track overheating a little bit. When I went to the last track I went to, I mean, they were just seeing that P6 go down the back straight. You think it's a leader bike. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like a ninja or something. Freaking incredible. But they were pushing the snot out of that wheel, and it got a
Exactly.
little hot.
And
Got
when
a
you
little
have an
hot.
electric unicycle and you're riding and you see that there's a car or a motorcycle and the motorcycle like revving next to you, like here in the city in Stockholm, I mean, I know actually that I can give the motorcycle a run for its money
Yeah.
with the P6.
No, you can.
Because he's going to have to break some serious laws, to keep up with me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he's going to get busted. He's going
Lose the license.
to lose his license, And what am I going to lose? What am I going to lose? My bus card? I don't even have one,
Well,
They can take my library card.
It's good. It's fun.
So the
You know-
P6 is just amazing.
so that's the
amazing.
goods. What's the bads, Mikey?
About the P6.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the P6 that he sold to a customer got into a little accident and hit a curb while dodging a car that cut him off. So when he hit the curb, oh surprise, the curb, then that's it. It just like sliced through the tire. Yes, he had proper PSI. Yes, he had proper suspension and so on. You just can't smack curbs frontally infinitely. So that
Right.
just like made like a super, super big dent in the rim.
Oh.
And even that there was a crack in the middle, so that's trouble waiting to happen. And then he had to do a motor change. And the motor, it's not disgustingly expensive. The rest of the wheel is. But so motor, and then you just have to tear down the whole wheel, into molecules and then reassemble it. And it's like some guy got like a bunch of Lego pieces and thought that they was going to make a P6, you know, so the pieces, they don't really go together.
Oh, damn.
But, you know, it's not Lego. It's a Lego that you get from Temu.
Oh shit!
So some stuff's a little bit off.
Maybe Alibaba.
It's Lego. It's Lego. It's the Lego clone.
Well,
Lego fits perfectly. This was Lego, man. This is like the half price, but you get it from Temu. And it's just like, we were there with the wheel and we screwed it together, and it's like, no, but Mike, you have to hold these parts down here, and then
That's crazy.
so you're like, you have to bend plastic and put it under pressure, and then to screw it, and then still like the pieces are like forced. I'm like, what? I'm like, Sergei, this isn't good for my OCD, man. We have to go look at the other P6, and we go look at the other P6, and another P6 is like, what's up? I'm like,
How you doing?
Never mind. It's the same. It's like, okay, sorry. You know, so we were trying to reassemble it better than what it was, you know, from the factory.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't because it's Lego. That's it. It's just like the pieces are like that.
I saw another video that said something along the same lines. It was like, yo, man, this thing looks like it didn't look too good underneath there. How some
Yeah,
stuff was put
exactly.
together. Yep.
So that's what happens when you take the makeup off. Then you see.
So what about
then you
this?
see the real one.
This thing having hairline cracks and all that kind of stuff. Like, is that another one of the bads out of the wheel?
Oh yeah, because I mean, this was a hairline crack. Now, you know, I did do a bit of trails on it. The suspension is amazing, man. And the suspension adjustability is amazing. And it's hilarious on trails. It behaves super nicely. But since the inside of the battery pack, which is actually the whole wheel well, is made out of tissue paper, if you look at it wrong, it's going to crack.
Oh, wow.
That's it. Yeah.
So that's just a street. That's it.
Exactly. This is like having like the hottest girlfriend ever. But if you look at her wrong, shit's gonna go down. You gotta watch every word you say. You gotta lift her over the curb.
Yeah.
Because Princess ain't walking up no curb. No, you're lifting her.
Not on high heels, Mike.
Yeah, she's on high heels.
The Princess 6, huh?
Wow.
Yeah.
See, and this is
You're
what
gonna
Is
makes
that what the P's for?
you
I'm gonna
see.
take her to the skate park in her high heels and see how that goes, you know. So I'm gonna make a funny clip with the P6 where I go street riding and have like the best time of my life. And then I go to a beach and dream about drifting on the sand. But I just stand there looking out over the water while holding the P6. And then I'm going to go to a skate park and dream about jumping and doing stuff at the skate park. But I'm just going to be looking out at everyone else having
That's
fun
gonna
while
be a
I'm
good
standing
one.
there with the P6, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's the best at what it's the best
Yeah.
at.
Exactly,
Yeah.
guys.
For street and racing.
All other
Exactly.
things it's like dirt bikes. You cannot compare dirt bikes to Rolls Royce.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
It's,
Right,
it's like,
right.
you know, the quality of
Yeah.
suspension is amazing. It's racing wheel for streets. It's a
Yeah.
street.
So this is the P6. This is quite funny because before I borrowed the P6, I borrowed the Oryx, and I was on that Oryx every day. Oryx was the first wheel that made me feel free. I was like, wow, I'm finally free.
Yeah, me
I
too.
can just ride and ride and ride and ride and ride.
I
And
didn't
can
like the
wake up in
Oryx,
the
man.
morning. I'll just take the Oryx. I'll go to the gym. I'll work out. Then I'll go to the supermarket and see if they got chicken wings for $2 or whatever, you know. And then it doesn't matter if I have to go 30 miles to buy milk for $1. I'll do it, you know. And then I'll go to a beach somewhere, and then I'll go explore somewhere else, and then I'll do some trails, and then I'll go to a skate park and do like idiotic jumps on this gigantic monster truck of a
It's
wheel.
huge.
I just like laugh my ass off doing those jumps at a skate park and praying that I'm not going to die, you know. And on the trails, it was just hilarious how it was. Even on technical trails, it would never give up. It would never quit. It would never stop. I wasn't able to get the motor to give up, but my friend was able to do it. And, you know, just being free. And that was the only wheel that could survive a whole day of me. I don't work, man. All I do is fool around all day. I don't work.
And you never had no trouble with the axle bolts or the axle that they were having trouble with? No, you didn't have that crack or nothing like that? You didn't have to replace it?
No, because what happened there is that Leaper Kim has had this little problem where they're not tightening the motor bolts properly. And when they're not tightening the motor bolts properly, this happened to the Patton, this happened to the Lynx, this happened to the Shermanel. So people get them, they ride them a bit, and then the motors are loose. And then Liebherr releases these crazy torque specs for the wheel that it almost feels like you're going to destroy the screws or the motor by following those torque specs. So we try to stay slightly below. But I mean, here, what did they do, you know? I guess they took like the whole bottle of vodka and 5 pickles and then just
Fucking
you
put
know,
it all
say,
together.
Good enough. Loctite, what's that? You know, is that a
Right.
flavor of tips? I don't know. And then it's just like put together and just nothing, man. And screws are loose left and right. And Bigot did the same, you know, with the EX30. My screws got loose like thousands of times. But on the Oryx, nothing. It was just like rock solid all the time. Super hilarious to ride. So the Oryx is and you know, you can go and drift that on sand and you can just do whatever with it. But it was really, really hard to carve at high speed.
Mm-hmm.
And not even high speed, I would say medium speed. As soon as you hit 30 miles an hour, it got super hard to carve with the Nalby tire. Now you put the street. Now you
That
put the
thing
street.
just rides straight.
Exactly.
It just rides straight.
But you know what? That ended up being relaxing. Then you just like end up being relaxing. It's like, what is love? Baby, don't hurt me. You know, just like,
Yeah, we gotta
riding
go out there
along,
with
just
these
like
guys.
chilling, man. And you sit down on that thing, you know, even without a seat, and you sit down, and you got that little handle in the front.
Yeah, dude, it's like sitting on the back of a Greyhound bus. It's like you're on top. It's huge.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a
So
bus.
it's just like super, super fun wheel. But the thing is, as the P6 just like blows it out of the water when it comes to street riding. There's like there's no comparison.
Exactly.
The only wheel that performance-wise comes close, then we have to start looking at stuff like the ET Max and the Commander GT and stuff like that. But still, you know, this we got the meters per second. It just changes everything.
Yeah.
You know, just being able to do that tilt, that assisted tilt is just crazy. It's so much fun. It's super crazy. After riding that, I started putting my wheels on even softer. Just setting them even softer. And I'm like a
That's
soft
something.
rider to begin with.
Mikey,
Yo.
have you seen the video where it's got the Apex, the P6, the Lynx S, I believe those 3 wheels? I don't know if there was a 4th one, but they do drag racing. They're doing drag racing, and the times are very similar.
Yeah.
But the P6 just has that overhead where, you know, there's no comparison. But right off the line, it wasn't. I was watching it, and it didn't seem so much of a difference. I mean, you know, like last year when I was at ABS, when they debuted the P6, when Albert took it down there, right? Apple Valley Speedway, where they had that race that they have, which is now electric Endgame now, that Roger and Eli from Coffee Run. But when I went there, right, I was pissed. I'm not going to lie. Because everybody that practiced that full year to race, and out of nowhere, here comes the P6. I've always said that the P6, at least till something's competitive with it, they should just have a race just P6s, you know, because it's like there was no comparison, man. That you had Roger and Q, some of the best riders in the United States. Yeah. They couldn't even keep up with these things, man.
Yeah.
And it was like, what the hell, man? They are fast, man.
They are. That's what they're for. That's the thing, you know. So they get guys. It's like, yeah, okay, we're gonna show the world a fast wheel with a crazy overhead, you know, and that's very, very good at the track, and that's what it's good for.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Until the motor starts overheating, if you're riding in Arizona and something, you know, it's not like in this miserable country, it's never gonna overheat. You know, it's never gonna overheat here.
So it's cool out there most of the time.
Pardon?
It's nice and cool in Sweden.
Yeah. So let's see. What's the body temperature in Fahrenheit? Like 95 or 100 or what?
96, 98.6, 98.6, I think.
I mean, it will never ever be 96 here. Never ever. There's no day. You know, if it's 96 somewhere, then what would that be? Florida, Arizona, maybe Spain, you know, someday or something like that. But here, I mean, never.
Sauna.
No. If it was ever 96 here, the whole country would collectively commit suicide on the same day. They
Yeah,
wouldn't know.
it's
It's been getting
how to
hot
handle
over in
it.
the United States lately,
dude,
dude.
it's been over 100 degrees up here in Jersey.
Yeah,
man.
over
That's
here in
crazy.
San
100
Diego too.
degrees.
No,
I couldn't
Yeah.
even ride. I
What
couldn't
What
even
was
That's
the
ride.
like,
other day you said it was like what,
It was
98
over.
or
No, dude, it was over 100
it was
degrees
over
up here.
100?
Yeah,
Oh my god,
whoa,
yeah, dude.
that's
yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
But
No,
I
no,
do
we
have
would
a
die.
question for you
Hey,
guys. So,
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Mike, now you guys, like I said, you always have something going on in that lab. But that's what I call it, the mad lab. I love watching the
Yeah.
videos. So you guys took something and did something and did something. You want to explain that to the people? I don't want to mix it up. I know, but I want you guys to just break down what you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You want to explain or do you want me to explain?
about Chile.
Yeah.
Well,
you start. You start.
yeah, listen, it's so many
Yeah,
wheels
you
are
can put down
coming
here.
out, and you just try to analyze what's the best performance, the best safety in different wheels, and you can compare. And now I have good workshop here, so I can just dissecate the wheels and learn about suspension, about motors and controllers, BMS. So now, thanks for Mikey, we can cooperate and to create some crazy wheels that producers, that manufacturers doesn't dare to.
Yeah. They don't want to do it. They don't dare to do it.
Yes,
Exactly.
But we don't care. We do it for we do it for the fun, for
Yeah.
the sake of science.
Exactly. So Sergey has a super cool mindset, and it's like he says, we do it so that other people don't have to do it, right? And we do it because we have the resources to do it, and we do it for laughs, and we do it for science. And those are the things.
Fantastic.
Because a lot of people are like, when I post clips and stuff like that, people are like, why?
We learn by doing. We have to,
Yeah.
I do it
Yeah.
anyway. Whatever you're saying, you
Yeah.
just do
Hey,
have to.
you know
Yeah.
what you guys remind me of, man? Hey, next Sergey's gonna put the flux capacitor into the next wheel. So you got Marty and Doc here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I see in you guys, man.
I had one of those situations the other day when I was on the Oryx, and my friend Christopher went down some technical section on his Sherman L. And then I said, I'm not going to do that on the Oryx. And then it's like, chicken. Nobody calls me chicken. That's from Back to the Future, by the
No,
way.
exactly.
Yeah.
So,
By the way, hi, Jamie. Just going to say hi to Jamie.
I'm
Wilson's
sorry. Yeah,
hobby.
let's give some shout outs real quick. So we got Spartacus, Slow Joe. What's up,
Oh,
everybody?
bro.
Wilson's in the house again. I want to thank everyone for joining us on a Sunday. We got two great guys in here that, like I said, they're always up in the game when it comes to electric unicycles. Like you said, doing things that most of us can't do, and they do it for us. So the thing I want to ask you about too, when I was saying before, is you took a Sherman L and you put a Lynx S motor in a Sherman L. And could you explain how that process went, and did it meet your expectations or did it fall short? How did that turn out for you guys?
So there was, Sergey was talking about it, and he wanted to do it because we were talking about the motor, and the motor is a C42. So already there, I mean, me and Sergey, we like big magnets and we cannot lie.
Yeah.
You know that song. We like big magnets and we cannot lie. The C42, because we like torque and ripping and this and that, So, and we just like power and infinite power. It's not all about magnets. It's also about motor winding, and it's also about phase amps. So there are three things that matter here. But it's just like, hey, we got some big magnets here. So it's like he contacts Leaper Kim. He tries to find motors, and it's like, oh, if you want a motor, you have to order 4 motors. Was it 4 or 5?
5.
5.
Say ask for 5.
Yeah. So he ended up ordering a bunch of motors, right? And then it's like, yeah, I'm gonna try to put the Lynx S motor inside the Sherman L. And I said, well, according to Go George Go, it cannot be done. So if you ask the internet, then AI is gonna answer.
Not doable.
And I said, you can't do it. because Go George Go said you can't do it.
Get
Because
out of
the,
here.
because the motor is too wide, and that's what Go George Go said, so you can't do it. And he's like,
That's
Let's
a
see.
challenge.
Hold
That's a
my beer.
challenge, baby.
exactly.
That's a
He's like,
challenge.
someone hold my pickle.
Hold my vodka.
Hold my
pick.
vodka, my pickle. I'm gonna do it. So then I come here one day, and he's like putting on the finishing touches, and it's more or less a straight swap. More or less a straight swap.
And that was
There's
on the
only
Oryx first, right?
no.
Sherman L.
Oh, the Sherman L.
Sherman L was the first one. The Oryx transplant was a disaster. So the Sherman L was the first one. So the Sherman L Lynx S motor. The Lynx S motor, the cable on it, it has the three standard motor cables: the red, the blue, and the green. Oh, sorry, the yellow, the green, and you see, he was almost like Mike. So the yellow, the green, and the blue. And then you have the 5-pin on the Sherman L, and you have a 6-pin on the Lynx S.
The Hall sensor.
Yeah, exactly. On the
Okay.
Hall sensor cable. Rick goes like, hold my pickle. So on the 6th cable that's on the Lynx S motor, that's for the motor temperature. That's a motor temperature sensor. The Sherman L doesn't have a receiver for the motor temperature sensor, and it doesn't care about the information that it doesn't understand. So it's totally fine with it not having it. So what Sergei did is he just got the receiving plastic connector, and he just clipped off the side of it so that when you put the cable in, that 6th pin is just hanging out in
Hanging
space.
out.
Just hanging out in space doing nothing, and that's it. As long as the other ones are where they're supposed to be. Then we took it out into the fireproof, bomb-proof room and pressed the power button and turned it on.
And it went.
And then he got on. And then he did some riding. And then it's like, oh yeah, this is awesome.
works, yeah.
Somewhere between the boxer's cut and the ribs, he gets on his wheel. And then I'm like, hey, okay, let's cool down, Let's he started opening the door to go outside. And I said, no, there's no going outside. No. We pressed the power button, it turned on.
That's
So then
awesome.
I started analyzing the PWM. So I started riding this wheel, and I started analyzing
With helmet on.
with the helmet on. Exactly. Yeah. So this is terrible actually, because
That's exciting. It's such
You
a
know,
feeling.
it's just like eating a Mars bar with the plastic wrapper on, and just like riding the wheel with the helmet on. And I'm so used to riding without a helmet.
You're too crazy.
It's like, okay, I have to do this. Otherwise, I'm going to be talking about Sergei's wheel and the magnets and the motor and the winding, this and all the scientific stuff. And then people are going to be like, helmet.
Helmet popo, baby.
Helmet. And it's, hey guys, we cured cancer. Helmet. It's like, oh man, really? So it's like, okay, I understand now that people feel very strongly about helmets. I got it. So I put my helmet on, and then I go riding, and I start looking at the PWM, and it's like, for the first time, the PWM is looking accurate on the Sherman L.
Wow.
That's around the 009
Very
firmware.
accurate.
Yeah. Then we start playing around with the firmware, and we start playing around with the torque, and we start playing around with this and that. And then we discover that the motor is quite a bit faster. The Lynx S motor is quite a bit faster than the old one. And then I start understanding how bad the old motor was. So, and this is super, super funny, because on the stock Lynx and the stock Sherman L, they got a high-speed motor, or rather a medium to high-speed motor, and they put an extra turn of copper winding on the inside to give it more torque. And by giving it that extra turn of copper winding and giving it more torque, they slowed it down.
Look at
So
that.
they made it slow, which is why the Lynx and the Sherman L are slow wheels. For what they are slow wheels. For being a 151 volt wheel and using field weakening, that's a slow wheel. Because if you get a wheel like the EX30 that is 134 volts and does not use field weakening, an EX30 will kill a Lynx.
Look at that. Never knew
Yeah,
that.
I seen that because I still have my Master V4.
It will kill a Lynx. It will kill a Lynx.
And I noticed that off the line, because I like racing, dude, right? So right off the line on this Lynx S, I mean, once you get it going, I'm fucking going rocket speed, But that first, I want to say 15 feet, my V4 will kill the Lynx S.
But the Lynx S does have more torque than the Master V4. So if it's in a drag race and pushing off, then the Lynx S has the potential to kill the Master 4.
Yeah.
It's only at high speed.
So what would you suggest my settings would be, man? I'll put whatever you tell me. Guess I want the best I can get out of that Lynx S, dude. So what would my settings? What would you suggest?
We'll have to wait to get a Lynx S because right now I don't have a Lynx S. I just have a Lynx now with a Lynx S motor. And those settings aren't transferable because here's some funny things about the Sherman L and the Lynx S motor and the Lynx with the Lynx S motor, which are super interesting. Because when he was doing this thing and I posted it, then some guy said, "Oh yeah, so now you're using a motor and the Sherman L motherboard isn't going to be able to power the motor. It's not going to be able to power the Lynx S motor." And I'm like, "But bro, the motor is easier to power. The Lynx S motor is more efficient. It's easier to power because it has C42 magnets.
Right.
So they're wider magnets, and you get the torque from that. And it has one turn of less winding because they didn't need to wind it for torque because of the wide magnets. So they wind it for speed.
Easy rolling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what happens is that it ends up being around 10 to 12% more effective. Which means that it's actually 10 to 12% faster. Yeah. If I get my Lynx and I swap to the Lynx S motor, it's 10 to 12% faster. If you get a Sherman L and you swap the motor, it's 10 to 12% faster. So what happens now is you get a Sherman L, that's 10% faster. So there's not only one Shelly in the world. So we called it Shelly, right? The Sherman L with the Lynx S motor, we called her Shelly. There's not only one, there's two. The other one was put together by Khalil EUC. His first name is Travis, and he lives in Chicago.
Yeah, I saw that. They were running those things that day. You saw that video, yeah?
Hey,
that dude was moving on that thing.
So this guy, and he got to understand now that the Sherman L Shelly is stronger than a Lynx S. Stronger.
Yeah, but is the top speed higher? Is the top speed higher on the Sherman L now putting that in? Or is it just off the line?
Shelly is faster than the Lynx S, and Shelly is faster off the line.
Wow.
He had to give the Lynx S a head start for them to drag race because otherwise it was just so terrible. He had to give the Lynx S a head start. And this is super, super easy. The Lynx and the Lynx S have a 4P battery configuration.
Right.
That's 4 packs in parallel. The Sherman L has 6 packs in parallel.
Wow.
It's higher.
And this guy is hitting 68 miles an hour wheel speed on the Sherman L.
Hey, talking about 6P, 4P, and all that, right? And I believe there's 2P too, right?
Yeah.
Do you see it going higher than that, Sergey? Like, do you see it going to 8P or 10P in series? And what would that do if it did go up?
We're going to higher volts. We're going to higher volts now.
235 volts.
Yeah. So if you look at the P6, look at the InMotion P6.
Yeah.
What is the multiplier from the Sherman L to the InMotion P6? And how do the parallelness relate to each other? The P6 at 235 volts is actually 1.5 times higher volts than the Sherman L. So if you get 151.2 and you multiply it by 1.5, you will get the 235. So what happens is that you get the 6P from the Sherman L at 151 volts. And according to Ohm's law, the InMotion P6, which is the 4P, but at 235 volts, are the same.
Exactly.
In how much amps they pull. They are
because you raise the voltage, right?
Exactly. You lower the amp requirement.
Wow. Now, my question is, Mike, so you can actually, it's a straight swap if you put a Lynx S motor in an OG Lynx, it's a straight swap?
Yep. You just gotta adjust that little connector. So you can do it on the male side or you can do it on the female side. You either remove a flap or you circumcise.
So it's plug and play. It's like plug and play, basically.
Yeah.
Basically.
Now there is one little detail, and the detail is that since the motor is 5 millimeters wider,
Yeah.
which is 1/5 of an inch.
Well, you got to shim
That
it.
means no, you don't have to shim it. What happens is that instead of the suspension being 100% straight,
I see.
there will be a 0.3 degrees outward splay at the bottom. 0.3 degrees. Imagine 1 degree. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
This is 45 degrees. This is 90 degrees. Imagine 0.3 degrees. That's how much
Nothing.
splay there
That's
is.
nothing.
It's nothing.
It's
But
ignorable.
that splay will transfer to the screws, and that splay will transfer to the suspension and the way the suspension moves. So now the suspension and the way the suspension moves, since this suspension, this fastay suspension, it has play already to begin with,
Mhm.
because the whole damn Sherman L and the whole damn Lynx has play, right?
Yes, it
It's just
does.
like
Yeah, you get the motor
you know
on.
what happens. Yeah, when you don't assemble that wheel properly with Loctite and torque things to spec, you can get that motor and you can start flexing it back and forth, and man, that's a nightmare. So of course the suspension can handle that, because otherwise, if the motor is playing there and the suspension's moving around, then it would just like scrape itself to death and damage itself. So there is some play in the suspension as well. There's actually, it's called tolerance. So there's tolerance in the suspension, so they can handle the 0.3 degree outward splay. And as for the screws, then also instead of them going entirely in straight, they're just going in with a little bit of splay. And the most of the splay will be at the top. And that just means, you know, assemble it right, assemble it tight, and use Loctite. That's it. That's it. But Khalil, you see, he got some metal shavings inside, but you know, he got some metal shavings inside. He didn't use Loctite. He didn't torque to spec. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. He didn't. So he's like reassembled this wheel 3 or 4 times now, his Shelly. We opened Shelly last week. Everything was pristine. Not a
Yeah.
single metal shaving, no damage whatsoever to the suspension. And we got some of the heavy boys. We
You
got
got
some of the heavy
Sergei,
boys
man.
in the group to jump that thing, to donkey jump it, you know, on bike tracks and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So what happened here is that all of a sudden, Shelly became a competitor to the P6.
Wow.
And I mean,
Man.
let's say that the P6 can do 93 miles an hour, but that's wheel speed.
Yeah.
You can take away 10% from that, and
I
then
don't
we
think
can say
many
that
people even hit 80, dude. You know what I mean?
exactly, you know. And the thing is that if we would get Travis and he would drag race a P6, I am pretty sure that he would kill the P6 on Shelly. I'm pretty sure, because this guy can send, and he's just like practicing more and more on sending. We write every day in the morning and we write every day at night, man. We're just like writing, you know, and he's sharing his stories about the Lynx S and this and that. The Lynx S beeping, but what the Lynx S could really do at the track is because you can set the pedals 1 inch higher. You can lean like crazy on turns.
Mhm.
And if Travis would do that on Shelly, then he would just scrape the pedals and die.
Okay.
Right? So that's like the advantage. And also the Lynx S is a lighter wheel and it's more maneuverable. But I mean, you can get a Sherman L and you just slap a motor in there and assemble it right.
Yeah.
Just assemble it properly.
I'm hoping Leaper Kim sees this, man, because if they see this, maybe they need to make some Shellys and adjust these pedals like you're talking about and be competitive. So you guys did all their groundwork for them, basically. You know what I mean?
But Go George Go said it can't be done. So
Yeah, well, no, George is
So
wrong.
so that means
So
I
they
need to
listen,
get
they
a
listen. No, but for real, yeah, I feel like I want to write to Linnea, you know, I sort of, but I don't want
You
to
should.
create any friction either, you know, because they're in business, you know, Sergei and Linnea and stuff like that. So I don't want to like sort of, you know, insult anyone's Chinese honor or anything like that.
Nah, man. They'll probably take. You know what? I got a lot of Asian friends, Chinese friends. I'm thinking they're gonna be like, "Oh shit, we don't even got to do nothing. They did
All
it
the
for
gun-
us."
all the
You
hard
know?
work is done.
They do a lot of copycat stuff too. You know that, man. So if you guys did all their footwork for them, I hope they watch this. Get a hold of Liana and see what you can do. Because maybe
Yeah.
next year, Shelly will come to you already assembled how you guys did it. Maybe you guys will get a free one.
Because they could, I mean, they can legit just take the most of the Sherman L as it is now and just like add 2.5 millimeters per side at the top so that there would be like zero splay at all,
Mhm,
right?
That makes sense.
And then everything would be right. So what happened simply is that Leaperkim botched the motor on the OG Lynx and on the Sherman L. They botched the motor. And they started to notice that when they released firmware 009, which is the previous firmware. So the latest firmware, which is 010, that is like the correction. But the previous firmware, that is 009, that one had aggressive timing on the phase amps. So you will get the maximum amount of torque off the line. It would give you the maximum speed. But the Sherman L, stock Sherman L, couldn't use it properly because the motor would overheat. The motor would end up overheating. And the motor overheats because we have the extra turn of winding in there. And you get all of this extra winding that's in it. When the motor is turning, then it's creating negative voltage and it's starting to get hot. And then it's like, okay, we got to go faster. It starts activating field weakening. So field weakening starts shooting more current in there, which makes it even hotter. But the Lynx S motor is much cooler running. So the Lynx S motor is just like a kick-ass motor. It's really good. You know, the Sherman S motor is a fast motor.
Yeah.
And you've seen, you know, the Russian guys have put the Sherman S motor inside the
SV168. They put that motor in there, right? That new wheel they put out.
That I don't know, but I do know that.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's SV.
Yeah.
168. Yeah.
Yeah, and Ilya, I think, also put the Sherman S motor inside the Sherman L, right, and got it to 68 miles an hour.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's something else.
But you know, then it's like, okay, but that's not a C42. Now we got a C42. It has the torque of a C42. And if you look at the Sherman L and you look at the Lynx and you look at the Lynx S, and then you have this. Originally, the Sherman L had 300 phase amps. So that's how much torque you can get from the firmware. 300 phase amps in firmware. And it has a hardware limit of 840 phase amps, but 300 software limit. Then they raised it to 330. And when they raised it by that 10% from 300 to 330, it gave a 2% improvement in real life. That's 10%. And then on the Lynx S, the upper limit in firmware is 360 phase amps. So it's very, very little. It's just it's a tiny bump. It's a tiny bump in a couple of percent because the OG Lynx and the Sherman L and the Lynx S are more or less the same wheel.
Yeah.
What differentiates it the most is the motor. So you just fix the problem by fixing the problem and getting rid of that motor, getting rid of the old motor. That was the problem. Everything about the wheel is great except the motor. And actually my Lynx is a little tiny bit heavier now because the motor weighs more. It weighs 4.5 pounds more. Exactly. But it makes up for it because you get a little bit more inertia. And also it just comes with that TNT knobby tire, man. And that TNT knobby tire is just tippy as all hell. It's tippy as all hell.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I told Sensei he wanted to put that on his Lynx, and I said, you know what, the Michelin Street Pilot 2 is better, man. I don't like it, man. I want to change it out.
If you're gonna ride street, I mean, get it. Even the TNT street tire is amazing, man. The TNT tubeless street tire is awesome. It's amazing.
That's what I got, and I don't like it.
I got the TNT knobby. I got the off-road tire, right? Because we fool around a lot here. So I need to be able to do everything. Otherwise, I'll just if I just want to go out and look over the beach, I'll go bring the P6. But on Shelly or on the Lynx, man, I want to do everything.
At least a tubeless.
Exactly. And the thing is that it's tubeless, right? But you'll get used to it. You'll get used to those tires. But the Lynx, since it's got a heavier motor, then it gives me a bit more inertia at the bottom. I've never had a problem with the Lynx. The Lynx is like a pure extension of my body. I love it. But the Sherman L I have a big problem with. I have a big problem. Imagine having a girlfriend that's good at everything, but she has a really bad attitude.
You don't want to cook.
That's Shelly. That's just like, for me, it's just the ride feel that kills it. On the Sherman L, I just can't agree with the ride feel. Shelly is down to clown. She'll do anything, you know. We can go to the club. We can go do butt stuff. She'll do anything. We'll go to the beach. We'll go to the skate park and do 180s and stuff. We'll hold hands. I can choke her and slap her, but she's just always got a bad attitude. We go to dinner, and it's
Hey,
just
Mikey,
like,
I see a shot glass between you guys. Where's the
You know-
pickle, man?
You know what's funny? You said that, Mikey, because my buddy Coquette actually sold his Sherman L.
yeah,
He
Yeah.
got it, he wrote it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it was just like something. He
Yeah.
couldn't get
Yeah,
comfortable
man.
on the wheel.
Yeah.
He sold it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh, you
tried.
have it?
I tried. I tried every
Coquette
day.
sold it. He sold
No,
it.
I just, I had a girlfriend like that. I tried, man. I tried to like her, but I hated her. But I tried to like her. Everyone else thought she was awesome. I thought there was something wrong with me, man. I just tried every day. I went to bed next to her, and I looked at her, and then I turned my back.
Mikey.
So the Shelly, man, it's just man, I have such a tough time. But all the other riders love love Shelly.
Mikey.
They love Shelly. man.
Every butt has a head attached.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
here's a
So
good question, guys.
Well, that was it. That's it right there. I guess you answered it. Were there any downsides to Shelly?
Yeah.
That was it.
Exactly.
But I mean,
Yeah.
but for me, that's the Sherman L in
It's
general.
it's
That's
a
just
feature.
like the Sherman L in general.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's just, to me, it's just like a bad ride feel. But I mean, the Sherman L with the Lynx S motor installed has a better ride feel
Okay.
because there's more weight at the bottom of the wheel. So
Right.
it actually feels better, has more
More
inertia,
balance.
has better. Yeah, because the Sherman L is just top heavy.
Yeah.
It
it's
is
a
top heavy.
wheel,
Yeah,
man.
I
It's a
noticed
top
that.
heavy
It is
tippy
top
wheel.
heavy.
Yeah,
It is. Very
it's like
top
eating a lollipop upside down or something. I don't know.
heavy. So would it be worth changing? Like I have an OG to throw a Lynx S motor in it. What do you think?
Do you have an OG Sherman L
No, I have
or an OG Lynx?
OG Lynx.
Right.
Well, so far I put like 100 miles on my Lynx. So the modded Lynx now, the Lynx with Lynx S motor, I call it Lucy. So we're gonna call that model Lucy.
Nice.
So we're gonna have Shelly and Lucy, right? Because the thing with my
Dude.
Lynx, the
Girls'
motor
name,
was
huh?
so bad. The
Hi,
bearings were
girls'
so bad on the motor of my Lynx. The bearings were so bad. So the motor was wobbling back and forth. And I'm like
yeah.
carving this dead motor, and it's just like flopping back and forth. And I'm just like praying it's not going to get stuck on the side of the battery case and
Pitch you on the side.
launch me into orbit. So then now it's just called Lucy because Lucy, right? But I mean, now it's amazing, man. It's amazing. This
Dude.
wheel. So I mean, I just got to put some more miles on it, And the thing is, when you have a Lynx and you ride an OG Lynx, if you want to go fast, then you have to turn on high speed mode, right? If you have Lucy and you turn off high speed mode
It's faster.
and you ride next to an OG Lynx, they are as fast.
Wow.
So OG Lynx with high speed mode on versus Lucy, they are as fast. And then you turn on high speed mode on Lucy, and then you get somewhere between 10 to 15% more speed. So I mean the numbers are so insane.
Wow.
And I calculated that it would be 10 to 12% faster, and that's pretty much where it landed.
All right.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So that's the story of Shelly and Lucy, right? So those are like straight up swaps.
Yeah.
But the Oryx, man, oh man, the Oryx, man.
Put up a fight, huh?
The Oryx put up a fight, and it just wanted to go and burn and rip, and then we got like 500 people in the comments saying the motor's on backwards and the phase cable. You should swap the phase cables, man. Phase cables. Yes, swap it, man. I'm like, we had a wrestling match, and then I come back here and he opens the wheel the next day and he's got it all open and everything, and it's like looking at the cables, and I said,
Russian roulette.
yeah. In the end, it's like when you start pressing buttons and looking for settings. The thing is, when Sergei does these things, it's like we kind of still want to survive on the wheel as well. It's not like, hey, Mike, I heard you had a cutout on the Oryx. They say, yeah, well, it didn't really work, but you know what we did? Some guy in the comments said you should just swap the cables. So we swapped cables, and then it worked for 5 minutes, and then I rammed the bus or something, Yeah.
That is funny.
Turned into some crazy Dukes of Hazzard,
Guys, let's get some
Yeehaw.
quick shout outs here. We got Rico. Thanks for coming in. Wilson. I think I said Wilson already, but again, legend in the house. Spartacus, Cuban, Gino, Brian.
Cobra's here too, dude.
Yep, we got Cobra. Who else we got in here? Man, we got a nice group here again, guys. Thank you so much for joining us this fine Sunday. Again, having you guys here is amazing. Like I said, I love your guys' content. Always got something great.
Thank
And you always learn something. Like I said, man, you guys want to learn, go to Mikey's channel, go to iCafe's channel. You're always going to learn something. They put out amazing content. And
Thank you.
I'm
guys.
sorry to interrupt you guys. So, okay, another question. Did you guys try the F-18 yet? Any of you guys try the F-18?
I've tried the F-18.
What are your thoughts on the F-18?
It has potential.
Okay.
It has
Okay.
potential.
Okay.
So here's an illustration with the suspension. There is, what was the word? I said play before, but then I corrected myself with tolerance there. There's barely any tolerance in the F-18 suspension. The suspension is fantastic, super nice, very adjustable, but it's like, if you look at it wrong, or a little molecule from an M&M gets stuck between this steel piston going into the stanchion, it's just like, there's going to be trouble,
Oh, wow.
And then
I have 11,000 miles. Exactly. There you go. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, see?
Exactly.
there's
Okay.
the shot glasses.
It's that feeling. So,
Wow.
11,000 miles on my links, and the suspension is just like butter, man.
Like
It's
butter.
it's just like, it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm not the kind of guy that likes to do
Yeah.
maintenance, I fell in mud the other day and the wheel got down into mud. It was just muddy for a month like that until it rained,
Yeah.
I'm like, this is who I am now.
Dude, you're like,
you know-
dude, I hate wrenching on wheels.
Oh,
Dude. I just
man,
don't
yeah.
like it.
Yeah,
I don't
no,
like it.
I don't
But
want to,
it's
man.
always a Mikey.
Yeah, all weather Mike. He calls me all weather Mike. The F-18, it's got a crazy lift speed. It has fantastic suspension. It has a curved magnet motor,
Mhm.
right? Curved magnets. So, instead of drawing a circle with lines here, they're like, hey, we can get these magnets and we can, what? We can bend steel? We can actually bend
So is
steel.
it a one-piece magnet that's round now?
No. Every individual tile is curved, so that actually makes a proper circle,
Makes
which
sense.
means that the motor is equidistant instead of being a little bit closer and a little
All
bit
the
farther,
time.
and a little bit closer.
You know
and a
what
little
I've
bit
always
farther.
wondered, Mikey? How come there's tiles? How come it can't be one fucking piece or maybe two pieces?
You can't make
No.
that.
You
Yeah.
can't do that, huh?
It's a magnet. How are magnets made?
Like a speaker magnet. They have the black magnets on the speaker. If they
Yeah,
make bigger sections, I guess.
Yeah.
If that makes
The
sense.
thing is, imagine, then you really better start walking on curbs, man, because for one of those
Oh.
things to crack, there would be
Oh,
like,
true.
I didn't think. Yeah, they're brittle.
we
Those
can't really
magnets are
control the
brittle.
metal,
That
we
makes
can't really
sense.
say, yeah, we're going to use adamantium on this and make it magnetic. It's just like, wouldn't it
That
like
makes
crack?
sense.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you just have like one huge mega magnet, and then you're going to get this huge mega magnet and you're going to assemble it on the rim and it's going to be like, and it's going to take your fingers off, man. You're going to have no fingers left.
I
You
didn't
get these
think about
little
that.
things, you just glue them on, right? You just glue these little
But
magnets on
it's,
it.
it's because it's plus minus. It's different.
It's plus minus even. There you go. So it's
It's
Oh, okay.
different
different
polarity.
The
polarity.
doc
That I
speaks,
did
man.
not know.
So
Yeah.
now we
I did not
learn.
know that. I did not know.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that
See?
either.
Yeah.
So
That's
we
the
learned
doc,
something.
man. I'm telling you.
So yeah, then so the tiled motor on the F-18, it's supposed to give it quite a smooth feeling and this and that, but it feels smooth. But Lucy feels smooth. Lucy
Yeah.
feels fantastically smooth.
It's amazing.
Of course, I've been riding a crusty motor for 2 years now, so I mean everything will feel smooth, but still, it feels very smooth. So the F-18, fantastic adjustability, fantastic, really nice sliders, parameters, and so on, differentiating between acceleration assist and brake assist and so on. And then from out of nowhere. It's King's song. It's like, I've heard about PWM, but I don't know how to make it work. So you're there and you're doing 40 miles an hour on the F-18, and you're getting a 90% PWM alarm.
Oh
That's
my
not
God.
good. Yeah,
That's
that's
super bad.
90% means go home and think about your choices in life. That's what
Yeah.
90% PWM means.
Get another girlfriend.
90% PWM doesn't mean, yeah, push a little more and see if you can make the wheel beat.
Oh, fuck no.
Yeah, this
I learned
experience.
the hard way.
The only way to take the F-18 to speed is by using the beeper as the reference.
Damn.
So you're gonna have to ride like me. You're gonna have to buy earmuffs from Temu for $2. My wind resistant earmuff. Get the Temu glasses for $2 and a bandana. I bought it on Amazon, by the way. And then you just got their earmuffs, man. And when you start going fast, you just put your ear down a little bit. You turn off your music, and then you just say, beep, beep, beep. Is that a bird over there calling me? And beep, beep,
Yeah.
beep, 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 beep. And it's like, well, I am doing 50 now. Am I
That's the
hitting the
problem.
beeps, or is it a bird?
It's
I'll
great.
push to 55 and see how it goes and see if the bird gets any louder.
Mm.
Right? And it's just like, man. So you have to really the thing is, I like monitoring. I want to monitor. I want to hear what's going on.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
PWM
Shit,
alarms.
over that,
PWM alarms are insane. And you know what I saw on Darkness Bot yesterday when I was fooling around? I have never used the voice alarm on Darkness Bot. I've never used the voice alarm. I just use the point, 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 and I set it to 80% or 85% on my links, and point, 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 and then I say, okay, back off here. If you use the voice alarm, you can set a number. So you can set the voice alarm to 10% PWM, and then you go ride, and it will say, PWM exceeded 10%. And then you keep on pushing, PWM exceeded 13%. So a voice will just loop and tell you at what percent you are,
Gotcha.
which means you can set it at a lower number, like 50, and then it will be informative instead of being alarmed. Then you will know.
Wow.
You know what I've always said, and I told you about this, Sensei, and this is one for you, Sergey. You tell me if you think this is viable, and I think it's better than beeps. I think there's, like your phone, you could put it on silent, but when it's on silent and you get a call, what happens? It vibrates, right?
Yeah.
So why couldn't there be a vibration on your legs? So when instead of having beeps, have that.
I know the answer. The
Okay.
latest, this is quite ironic, and I don't know if you're setting me up, but the latest.
No,
F-18,
this is something I've been talking about for years with Sensei.
The latest F-18 firmware is announced to have this feature.
Yeah, I guess they just taking all of our ideas, man.
Exactly.
Just
So
like
now,
when P6 took the tire monitoring system, I told Albert when he was with Wrongway, I was like, hey, dude, why don't you have a tire pressure sense like the cars do, so that way you know what your PSI is. And now the P6 has that. So
and now,
I guess they're listening to some of my ideas, man.
They listen.
so now when you're on the F-18 and you're riding on gravel, then you think that you're going to die and overlean or something, because all of a sudden the whole wheel is vibrating and your feet are vibrating. It's like, oh man, is that the PWM? Was that gravel? Did I run over a pistachio shell? You got something for yourself? I'd rather have a vibration, going off in my butt or something, or on my head, maybe a vibration hat.
Maybe a
alarm.
little wire going from.
Yeah. Jamie, a wheel like the Oryx doesn't make sense for someone who lives second or more story floors. Wanna bet? I got marble stairs, man, and there's 2 flights of stairs, and there's spiral stairs even.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I have the motor on, and it helps me, and I help it, and we go up together, and those are good times.
Yeah, Oryx is very easy going. It's like
yeah,
it's so simple, wheel.
Yeah,
guys. The main difference, you have to talk about it between P6 and Oryx, or even Shirley. Both Shirley and Oryx, actually, Liberkin wheels are dirt bikes. They're very simple, easy-going wheels, and you have to know your wheels, to disassemble and see what it is. When you open P6, man, it's totally different.
Yeah.
It's whole lot of bunch other stuff that is It's
Very
very
good.
complicated. It's really, you have to respect it. When you buy it, it's like buying a car
Yeah.
or some,
Yeah.
you don't open modern cars. You
Nah,
cannot do nothing.
modern cars are
You
horrible to work
understand?
on.
It's too complicated to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you still can do it with Spartan, with links, with all Liberty wheels. It's still doable,
Yeah.
and it's easy, and you feel safe. It's totally different feeling to ride these wheels. You need to trust your wheel. It's a basic safety.
You can drop it.
Yeah,
Like if the
so
oryx, if you drop the oryx, it's like,
exactly,
hey, okay, I dropped the oryx, it's
exactly.
fine. It's not going to get mad at you and threaten to kill you on the next ride or something like the P6. You're gonna worry. You said
Yeah.
something bad to the P6. You better watch your back now. He looked at it wrong. You hit him. Yeah,
Nah,
elephants
that's
never
not
forget,
good.
man. It's gonna get you. It's gonna get you, man. As soon as you. So you took the oryx apart twice,
Exactly.
right?
But you listen, I was a bigodi boy for years.
Yeah,
10 years at least,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
I have all bigodis here. It's
yeah,
like
man. Yeah,
mostly my wheels is bigodis, but now you have to forget them because
yeah,
it's safety. When we ride in 100
yeah,
over 50s,
yeah.
if you ride more than 50 kilometers per hour, you need to respect safety. You need helmet. I'm sorry to tell this.
Yeah,
I love the small wheels.
yeah,
If you see my videos, I ride naked, with no gloves, no helmet. Basically, it's great fun.
yeah,
It's contradiction between fun and safety now.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What are you guys' thoughts on the upcoming X Max? Getting ready. I think that's going to be at the end of this month, I believe.
Oh man. So, after all this fooling around on the X Max that they've been doing, and I mean, okay, this is one of the things that we talk about, and like making these mistakes is what helps companies grow,
Mhm.
right? And the whole history now with Bigot lately is that prices started getting higher a few years back, and people started saying, we want cheaper wheels. And then Bigot says, okay, well, then you can buy them straight from us. Oh, you guys are screwing up all you're destroying business for all the resellers. You said you wanted cheaper wheels,
Yeah.
So the thing is that they're a little too responsive. They listen to this peer pressure, group pressure, and this is like, okay, they lower their prices and start selling them cheap. And then to sell them cheap, they start skimping on quality control and stuff like that. So I mean, a wheel like the Extreme, the Bigot Extreme, man.
Good wheel.
Sergei had a Bigot Extreme here, and we started
Few
fooling
of
around
them,
with it a
yeah.
couple of months ago, and
Mm.
man, the Extreme is insane. It's so much fun to fool around on, and that wheel is like it's $1,700, man, or
Yeah.
$1,800. It's crazy. It comes with
It's
Samsung
pretty solid too,
50S.
right? It's
Yeah,
mostly
man.
steel, right? It's almost all
Oh,
steel, right?
yeah, man. You can drop that thing, it can tumble. And the back light got a bit twisted, and then I just like unscrewed it, realigned it, and put it back together. And I mean, what happened with the back light was no joke, because my friend tried going over a ramp, and he thought his body was on another planet than the wheel, so they got like out of sync and stuff like that. He started running off the front of the wheel. The wheel fell on its side, but I had set the angle cut off at some bananas number, so it just got back up and did it like a. I'm not gonna say it did a
That-
wheelie, but man, that thing roared, man. It just started going after him, man. And I'm like, whoa, this wheel's trying to kill him, So it smacked its ass down. It smacked that taillight down on the ground, and it just went after
That's
him.
crazy.
I'm like, yeah.
You hear a lot of good things about the Extreme. I haven't heard. It's
Yeah.
every once in a while the motorboats might loosen up, but besides that's it,
Yeah.
man.
And that's
Everything
it. The motorboats, that's it. Never happened to Lieberkim. Lieberkim is perfect. And that's the thing, when we trash talk one, we got to trash talk them all. So
Mhm.
the thing about, the Extreme and the motorboats, it's like that happened to my EX30 until I finally got some EPA on a Q-tip and I put it in the screw holes and cleaned out
To
them
clean it
screw
up, yeah.
holes. And then I got some Loctite and I just reassembled it. So I mean, my screws got loose on the EX30 3 times until
Wow.
I did the EPA thing. Somehow you gotta like, what am I trying to do here?
Right.
Am I a monkey trying to write Shakespeare, or am I just putting a screw in a bolt? And
Hey.
the extreme is just nuts, and it's so nicely priced. It's like such a hilarious. I can't get that wheel to quit. I haven't been able to overlean it. It's stupidly fast for what it is as well. Super strong, crazy suspension, super fun tire. You can drop it, you can bang it around. That's one of those down to clown wheels.
What motor
right?
does it have, Mike?
Well, first they had a C40, and then after that, then they made a C36 tile motor, and now we don't even really know anymore.
Oh,
So now
wow.
apparently it's using the T4 Pro motor, but that has also gone through 2 iterations. So now it doesn't have a yellow rim anymore. Now it doesn't have an orange rim anymore. It might have a yellow rim, which is the T4 one. So now basically, you might end up with a weaker motor. But they did bump up the phase amps to compensate for that, which made the current extreme with the C40 ridiculously strong. So it's quite a horse. But, the Extreme is a super nice wheel. The F18 is a super nice wheel, but the F18 has some caveats. But the F18, just to take the final question there. Roger changed the Lynx S suspension to the P6, yeah. So the F18 is in the same class as the Lynx S. Those are in the same class. So the F18 and the OG Lynx are not in the same class. But the OG Lynx will still kill the F18, because you have to ignore the alarms for the F18 to win, and that's it.
But you get a higher speed with the Lynx S. See, we had a show a few weeks back, and I let the audience decide what I was going to buy. And there was the F18, the Lynx S. I had the Bigot Extreme, and what else did I have? I had like 4 wheels, right?
Yeah.
And everybody chose the Lynx S, and since I like speed, it was really like hand in hand, the F18 and the Lynx S, because like you could pop the motor off in 2 minutes on the F18. You got speakers, and I love music, you know that. And then it has the 4-shock system or whatever, the 4-thing suspension, and it's cheaper. And I was able to get that from King Song at that time for $2,800. So it was almost $1,000 difference.
I know, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? I'm tired of dealing with fucking wheels. I want a wheel that's reliable. I had an Arrow. I bought an Arrow, and I have it. I love the Arrow, and I'm figuring they're like a junior lipper, Kim. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get the Lynx S. And it was like this, dude. And the people picked the Lynx S, and I love it, man. I love it because I don't want to have to deal with shit. I've gone through 3 motherboards on my Master V4, so I just don't want to deal with shit anymore. You know what I mean?
Exactly, man. Exactly. No, we don't want to go sliding out at 60 miles an hour. That's the thing.
Exactly.
And it's more likely that you would do that on the F18 than you would on the Lynx S, because the Lynx S will keep you safe, because you will at least be able to have monitoring. You can have a pre-vibration.
Broken bones, Mikey. I broke my collarbone, 2 ribs, and my wrist already. I don't know how many you got, but
nah.
I got 0, but I hurt my leg so badly the other day. It was crazy. I was at an outdoor gym, and I was going to do a 180 freestyle on the high bar, and I smacked my leg so damn hard. And I was like, man, they tried to warn me, man. They said, Mike, you need to wear more protection.
I always get scared, man. I love you, brother, and I see you without a helmet, and I'm like, dude, you know, because I broke my collarbone going 5 miles per hour, okay? I was fucking shit-faced drunk. And stoned,
It wasn't the alcohol that was the problem, right? It was the helmet. There you go. Good one. What did we learn?
Don't drink and ride.
Yeah, exactly. No.
Drink and ride.
Yeah, don't drink and drive. One of my friends took cocaine and slid out and knocked his head. He's a vegetable.
RUI? Riding under the influence.
You guys are a trip.
Exactly. So this Kilted Cuban question, change the Lynx S suspension to the P6 suspension. There are a few people that dislike the original suspension. What are my thoughts? They feel quite similar, the P6 suspension and the Lynx suspension, but the Lynx S suspension I have yet to try. And there's a lot that's happening in the Lynx S suspension world, which is very tricky. So now we have NGM, Next Gen Mobility, that are selling progressive springs. So you can get the normal Leaper Kim with the linear springs, and the the rating doesn't match the previous version. So if we have the original, the OG links and the Sherman L, you get a 66 pounder there. You would have to get a 70 pounder of
That's what I got.
the linear one for them to match, right? So now all of a sudden you need 1.2 tomatoes to match the old 1 tomato. And then you're sort of like trying to make a salad and you don't know how many tomatoes you need. And what's happening in the latest batch of the Lynx S that not too many people know about?
Because they're not using Fast Ace anymore.
Well, that has been the case since the beginning of Lynx S.
Mm-hmm.
But the batches of Lynx S that are arriving now come with progressive springs pre-installed. So they have changed. They have followed the NGM thing. I'm like, oh, progressive springs. Good idea. Let's do that. So
That's good.
some wheels out there, you don't know which ones, will be with progressive springs. But if you look at e-wheels, at least, they are very upfront and they say they come with progressive springs pre-installed. So then you know. So that means you get the Lynx S with progressive springs if you want the progressive springs, and then you don't have to abuse the air chamber at the bottom and start
Gotcha.
over-pumping that beyond the spec.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
Hey,
yeah. Hey,
So
we
you
got
know-
this. We got this wheel, and it's got a little knife. So when you go riding, it'll stab your arm, but it's okay because we're giving you free band-aids with the wheel. It's like, yeah, thank you for the air shock. You know, thanks. It's like
so the
pumping it
progressive
70.
spring, Mikey. How?
Pardon?
So, like somebody watching the show that doesn't know, can you tell us what is the benefits of having a progressive spring on a suspension?
Wound tighter, I think, at the top.
Sort of. Yeah, exactly. But the thing is about the top, that's the thing. I went very, very deep in the studying about the springs and the
Yeah.
suspension and how they behave. And I felt so stupid afterwards because once we find the truth and it's like, oh man, I understood springs backwards. I basically understood spring backwards. So what happens is you have a linear spring. So
Right.
say you have a linear spring
Yeah.
and say that it's 10 feet high. It's
Yeah.
10 feet long. So if you want to compress it 1/10, then you have to apply, let's say, 10 pounds of force.
Yeah.
So you want to compress it 1/10, you apply 10 pounds of force. Now you want to compress it another 10th, you have to add another 10 pounds of force to your previous 10 pounds of force. So you can't just press with 10 more pounds of force. You have to start pressing with 20 pounds of force. So it's adding 10 pounds every time. So you're pressing and pressing and pressing and pressing. You have a progressive one, which aren't truly progressive because a progressive goes from wide and then it gets narrower and narrower and narrower. Super hard word to pronounce, narrower. And what they do on the springs that we have in our wheels, they are actually dual rate. So they have a split. It's like getting one very, very small loose spring, and the loose spring, so listen to this, Sensei Vegan. The loose spring is the one that is tightly wound. That's the loose one.
So the loose spring is tightly wound.
Yes.
Okay.
It's already almost together. But we always thought that that was the hard one. I always thought that that was the harder one to compress. And the one that is harder to compress, that's the one that is more apart. So you have, say that you get one that consists of 4 spirals, and then you have one that consists of 20 spirals, and then you just stick them together. That is basically the spring design of the Lynx S and the Lynx and the Sherman L progressive springs, which are actual dual rate springs. They just have 2 rates. So they have a soft side, which is the very side that is just like, oh, this is the part that's just going to be very soft. It's going to have very little of the soft travel. Or you can set up the sag on it, and then it will basically be gone. So what that's giving you is small bump compliance.
It's like this.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're getting just small bump compliance there at the top. And as soon as the small bump compliance is over, that's when you start doing curves and stuff. So the feeling of this if you would measure it with golden feet, golden feet that can feel everything, the princess and the pea, super high sensitive feet, super high sensitive body, you will feel that it will do this and then it will do that.
Gotcha.
It's like dual action. It's got like a dual action.
Dual, exactly.
Yeah,
It's dual.
yeah,
So it's going to be a
yeah.
little bit softer, and then it's going to be a little bit harder. And if you would be able to feel that, there would be like a distinct transfer when it goes from
Gotcha.
one to the other. If you would be able to feel that, you can't really feel that because as this one compresses, then it compresses to a certain extent where this one starts to compress as well. And then by the time this one is all together, then it's not compressing anymore, and then it's just this part that's pushing. So this one will close first before you even get through the first third of the second one.
Oh.
So try to find two springs and put them together, and then just sit down there. It's like, what happened to this world? Everybody has a slinky, but we don't know how a spring works.
Yeah.
We have the opposite of a slinky, and the slinky is a wonderful toy. But,
Hey, I had a question for both you guys, Mikey. Have you guys tried the new Xeno? And what do you guys think of the Xeno? I mean, the price is about $3,000, so it's up there with the F18, a little lower than the Lynx S.
Yeah.
Is it worth getting this wheel or do you see this? Yes, it's worth getting it if you're a new rider. This is a perfect new rider wheel, or where do you guys see the Xeno, man? I love that wheel. I think it's great because of the lightweight. I think it's 71 pounds.
Yeah, I think there is a place for Xeno. Like I miss this old S18 or what I did with S18. I just removed all this plastic.
I remember
and
that.
it became very 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 small.
On the S22.
S18. The original S18 from the beginning. It was good looking wheels with all this plastic all around. But when I remove everything, it became very tiny. Like 20 kilograms.
Wow.
20-inch wheel with small, relatively small battery, 11 kilowatts. I think. Yes, but it was amazing feeling, when it's so light and so nimble. But huge diameter, 20-inch at least. So it was good feeling. So Xeno is, I think, it's belong to this category. Light wheel that is pretty decent battery, but it's more than S18, I think.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same designer that designed it, right? The same guy did the design on it, right? They did the S18, right?
Yeah, same guy.
It's good design. It's very sexy little wheel. It's talk to a lot of new guys out there.
I don't like it at all.
Out and say I think it's a great wheel, but I think it's the wheel you buy for your wife, man.
Yeah, I don't like it at all, and I just generally don't like NOSFET wheels. I don't like the Aero is okay.
Yeah, the Aero is great.
And the Eon is something, but and the Apex is something, The only thing good about the Apex is that James Cundiff rides one. He's a badass rider. But he would have a better time on Shelly. He'd be able to go faster and stuff, and do stuff like that instead. So yeah, and just like the Xeno, man, the Xenomorph, it's just like, it's like super complicated if you're gonna pad that wheel, and it's a 126 volt, 126 volt. Okay, fine, it's support. So what did they get? They got a Patton. They got a Patton S. And they put like a larger diameter tire on it, and then just called it a day, and that's it. Yeah, motor, exactly. And then it's just going to be as fast as it can be, and that's it. And now it's like, oh yeah, this was great because I was doing 40 miles an hour. Yeah, I think I was doing 42. Whoopie-doo. My EXN is doing 42, man.
That's why I said I think it's like a beginner wheel for somebody that doesn't want to start with a 16-inch wheel. I think it's a good wheel for like maybe your lady if you're trying to get her into riding and she's a small woman and she's not a
Oh, but
beast,
jeez.
you know.
Not a
3,000
beast. You guys are horrible.
$3,500 beginner wheel. You know that if you drop that thing, it's probably going to disintegrate.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
Well,
and you can't put pads on it. You have to buy the Grizzly kit,
Oh my
and then it's
goodness,
like
dude.
going to put
It's
1,000 pieces in there, so you can put some pads on it and pray that the Velcro doesn't go. No, it became like a super complicated thing. Beginner wheel, get it, but go to extreme. That's it, and then flip
Yeah,
a coin
exactly.
and hope that it works when you get it.
oh damn. It seems like the Xeno is fashion over function. If that makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It looks great, but I wear a
Okay.
size 12 or 13 shoe. I'm
Yeah.
not getting pads on that wheel. I can put the front ones on. I'm not getting back. The bigger
Not
your feet
crazy,
are,
man. Yeah.
you're not
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
pads on that thing.
No, exactly.
Nah.
In general, I think NOSFET talks to designer public. You know,
Yeah.
it's fashion. Fashion before function.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks great. I mean, it's a
Yeah, it
like you
looks
said,
great.
a
It's
sexy
appeal.
looking wheel, man. But function,
Yeah.
that's just
Exactly.
yeah, I
But
don't
you
want to
know,
fool around with
still,
that.
it's like you like the stripping down wheels,
Yeah.
right? So he did some mods of some electric unicycles that he called ghost mods, right? So
I
I
remember
mean,
that.
removing the
Remove
headlights,
everything,
removing the
yeah.
taillight, remove everything you can. It's like I want to play a game. And in this game, we're going to remove everything we can because, again, back to the simplicity that he said in the beginning, the triad of what a wheel is. It's a gyro, it's a motor, and it's batteries.
Yep.
And I mean, sure, some pedals so you can stand on it would be swell. But I mean, otherwise, you got the handle and you got this and you got the turning lights and you got the brake lights and you got the nightclub lights and you got this and that and you got
LEDs or
the
speakers.
the beeper and stuff. He would just like get rid of
Disappointed.
everything he could, and it would be like so hilarious. In the end, the lift switch at the bottom was the power button.
I love it.
So you just got to think about it. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna take this up the stairs now. Oh no, okay, I'll turn it on, and then now I'm gonna take it up the stairs. Yeah, and you just have to like think about it and have like the buttons and.
But it's all about safety, guys.
Exactly.
At least for
Exactly.
the body wheels,
Yeah.
I was.
Saved a lot of weight
Wow.
taking the beeper off.
You know what
Yeah.
wheel was really bad, Mikey? That had that kind of stupid feature was the Z10, man. I had one of my buddies riding it, and he started learning to ride. He's doing about 15 miles per hour, about 15 to 20, and he tried to grab the handle like to hold on.
Oh
man.
no.
Whoa! Here
he
you go
shut it off.
flying.
But it's
He
crazy
fucking
that it did
flew,
that.
dude.
Yeah,
If
that's
it did
not
that
good.
at speed, that's really, really bad design,
Yeah.
But I mean, some wheels can do that. So the 9-bot 1E Plus, you could actually power it off while riding it,
Yeah.
which is quite interesting. Usually,
That was
if you're doing more than 3 miles an hour on most electric unicycles, you can't turn them off while riding. But man, you haven't met God until you take a 9-bot 1E Plus, go riding for a
right.
few miles an hour, and say, I
You're
wonder
right.
how long I have to hold the button down before it turns off.
You
Dude,
guys
it
are too
did.
funny.
It did.
Crazy.
I got videos
Rating
of me, right? When I had that 9-bot 1E Plus, right? So I used to watch you remember when you were teaching people on the wall and all this stuff?
I remember all that.
And I said, fuck it, I'm gonna learn parkour. I'm gonna fucking learn parkour. So I take the 9-bot 1E Plus on the grass, and I was pressing the fucking button and shutting it off while I was riding, dude. So that I could get like a cutout and roll out, you know what I mean? And not hurt myself.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's crazy.
I remember that.
Now you
Mike-
can just transfer that knowledge to the P6 and go and cut out at 80 miles an hour. Say, hey, bro, it's cool. I know what I'm doing. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Earn your stripes. Mike,
Look
they
at
want to
those.
know the name of the stuff that you put on your EX30 motorbolts.
Two things: to clean the actual motor, the motor bolt
holes.
holes is EPA, isopropylene alcohol,
Yeah.
and to put the screws in, you use blue Loctite, or actually Loctite is a brand name. You use blue lock threader or
Okay.
thread locker. It's called blue thread locker. So tissues are tissues, and Kleenex is a brand name.
Yeah.
You know what's a
Loctite
good
is
thing,
a brand
Mikey?
name.
That I
Yeah.
seen somebody do? They took hot glue and put it into the hole. and once it cooled down, they were able to extract everything in there. So I don't know.
Yeah, I would be afraid of residue and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Since you get a Q-tip, well, actually, it's a cotton swab. Q-tip is a brand name. So you get a cotton swab.
Yeah.
It's a fact, though. It's a fact.
You guys are never gonna call me again, or you're gonna send me some Q-tips, some Kleenex.
It's got to be that brand, though.
It's got to be that brand. I can't blow my nose on anything else. Exactly. So you get a Q-tip, you get a cotton swab, you get some IPA, and you go deep, man. And then you can see what was in there, right?
IPA.
I know where this is going, and that's why I made sure to say isopropylene alcohol, because yes, I do love IPA as a beer, man. I love it.
Quinn, thanks for joining us right on time. Bones is in the house.
Exactly. Just as we're about to end. Hi, guys. Am I late?
No, you're right on time.
Remember,
man.
iCafe and Is There Any Food, man? That's their channel. So if you guys can subscribe to them, man, we'd really appreciate you. Where did you? I think you told us last time, right? Where did you think of Is There Any Food?
The name?
Yeah, dude. I know iCafe because he had an iPhone, right? But you, where did that come from?
One of my friends would always fool around with that, that we would talk about like going to someone's home, and just like as soon as you're coming through the door, and it's just like,
is there any food?
Yeah, excuse me.
Is there any food?
Hey, were your eyes like this when you were in there? They're like, yeah.
I was just like, bro, you want to hang off your jacket first? You want to take off your shoes and hang up your jacket.
No, is there any food?
Before asking if there's any food, I had one friend, that like, just as soon as he came through the door, he's like, you open a window and it's super hot. We're like, bro, it's cold as hell in here. What have you been doing? He said, yeah, I jogged here. And I said, yeah, relax. Go back outside and come back when you cool down. Huh? I'm not going to go modifying my home. I said, can you make some coffee? You got any muffins? I said, really?
That might be the new channel, man. You got any coffee?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, is there any food? Excuse me, man, is there any food?
Is there any food? I'm telling you guys.
Sorry, next time I'll just have some donuts hanging on a string through the door. So when you come in, you just open your mouth and
grab one.
Exactly.
We spoke about the vest EUC. Yeah, we spoke about that. So I mean, some people are trying it, some aren't. I guess it's work in progress with certain people.
It's a work in progress, exactly, man. Exactly.
It's never-ending story. It's
yeah. And I don't even think, honestly, now that, because I talked to Austin, and I mean, he vests a toaster, okay? A toaster, like one of those toasters. And he's like, I can fine tune the exact temperature. And I'm like, all right, dude. He's like, he's like a little version of you, Sergey. And he's like, yeah, because he vests a Monster, right? And he's tinkering to getting that adjustment for that. I want to say firmware or whatever the hell it is that the vest has. He's like, dude, I'm constantly having to adjust it. So to me, I don't really think Vesk is really going to take off until a company actually puts some money into it and puts further, something into it. Because it's just
too
like
much
with Austin. It's just it's hard. I mean,
it's very complicated. I was trying, with M103, what Mike was talking about. It's when you're just playing on your table, it's one thing, but with Monster, with Horax, it's beyond. We have to adapt.
There's so many parameters.
Yeah,
it's like there's so many parameters.
Too much. We just open it. I didn't dare to remove the battery from P6. We just lie it on the floor. Didn't even. No, together we managed to lift it up on the table. All these three pieces together. Two batteries and the central part with motherboard. And it was very complicated structure.
Yeah,
you have to respect it. It's.
We were like making it. It was like making a family-sized pizza. Just lifting from each side and say, okay, Sergey, you start first. And he's holding one whole side of the P6. I'm holding the other side. We're picking it up off the floor. and then we got like the motherboard and the cables in between. I said, okay, and we're like really, really following here. Don't
That's
hit the
crazy.
people, man.
Two
Wow.
idiots, and
Yeah,
two,
two idiots, one wheel.
two
There you go.
whole
It's
day,
like that. Two girls, one cup type thing.
from
Oh no.
9 to 5. He was working,
Yeah, yeah,
just to motor replacement.
exactly.
It was
No,
new
it
wheels.
was hours, man. It was hours and hours and
Hours.
hours. Yeah. And while he's doing that, customers coming in and out and say, "Hey, I need a new display for my phone. Or whatever. I cracked my display." Exactly. I bought this Pixel instead of an iPhone. I need to restore my WhatsApp, but it's in my iCloud. What? I was like, hold on, I'm just gonna.
It's all about,
Yeah. And then you got to go back to the P6 and like, where was I?
remember
Ah,
everything,
yes, this molecule here, and you got like screws everywhere and pieces everywhere. So no super easy assembly going on here. Yeah, it was.
So,
yeah.
we're talking different species here.
Yeah.
Xeno and
Yeah.
actually all NOSFET wheels done by Liperkim factory, right? Or at least they working together.
Yeah.
So they cannot compete. I think as I see it, so they have to produce some special wheels,
Yeah.
like
But
all rounders or something.
Xeno and F18 cost the same.
It's big.
Xeno
I
and
don't know.
F18 cost the same, and F18.
Yeah, nah.
competitor.
If you got if you use some of the discount codes that they got out there, you can get the F18 cheaper than the Xeno.
Yeah, you can get it cheaper.
And then you get a lot more for your money. That's why I've always said it's if you compare those two, the F18 is the best bang for your buck on it, dude. You get a lot more.
Now
options.
everyone is competing with Lynx, right?
Yeah,
Lynx is
exactly.
was like first pioneer wheel in this category, and everyone tried to catch it.
Dude, they were selling a Blitz. The 134-volt Blitz for $1,500.
Yeah, man. And the Blitz Pro for $1,900. Now you don't even have to do a group buy anymore.
crazy.
You can just go buy a Blitz Pro for
Crazy.
$1,900.
When those prices first
Then
came
you
out,
have your own,
they were like
you don't
double
have
that.
dealers, you don't have support.
Exactly. You have no support, no dealers. You're gonna wait 6 months until you get the wheel, and then one of the guys that has a extra when he's finished working at Temu, then he goes to Begode, then goes and assembles the Blitz Pro, and then you're gonna get it, And it's
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all temporary employees, right?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Pardon?
I said the guys working at Begode assembling some of these wheels, they're temp workers.
Well, we don't know. I mean, and in the end, it doesn't matter because people said, that they just want it to be cheap, and that's it. So we have to make up our minds.
Mm-hmm.
There's like the Holy Trinity, right?
Yeah.
Cheap.
Yeah.
Some motherboard, motor, batteries.
Yeah, exactly.
Cheap,
You want it to
fast,
be
and
cheap. You want it to be fast. You want it to be good, but you can only pick two.
You can only pick two.
Exactly.
I think we did that. There's a question now. Any risk with Shelly? As far as with the wheel?
No, not from a riding or a firmware perspective. I mean, if you use the firmware that Liperkim recommends, which is 010, then there will be no risks. If you use the 009 and you go ripping, crazy ripping like Travis, like Khalil is doing, then the batteries will overheat because that's the way.
One thing I have to say, potential risk, the only thing is this thermal sensor from motor. It's just hanging.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you are in warm countries, it's maybe overheating. I don't see it.
No, because if one motor would overheat, it's the original one.
Yes.
It was actually the original motor that would overheat. So the new motor won't overheat.
Yes.
It's more effective and it handles heat better. Exactly. So,
so it's no matter.
In 009, the motor was overheating. So we have better chances that it makes that problem less likely to happen.
Yes, but the guy asked about risk, so.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Well, yes, the risk is that we don't know the motor temperature, but we didn't know the motor temperature anyway. We didn't know anyway.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
We didn't know anyway to begin with what it was. So instead, they just baked it into the firmware. So since there is no motor temperature monitoring, instead of having 009, They just say, okay, we'll just do 010 then instead, and cool it a bit, and not let people go as fast, and not let people have as aggressive field weakening timing, and not let people have as aggressive phase amp timing either. Even though it's the same number, it's still more aggressive.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, I remember there is a few. First, it was Bigodis that put some thermal sensor into BMS at A2 or this new battery pack. It was beeping all the time. So they asked me to remove the thermal sensor. It's the only way to solve the problem.
Yeah.
And then was some Kingston S22, I think, that had same. They had the motor, the thermal sensor into the motor.
Yeah.
And they asked me to just remove it, just to cut it.
Yeah.
Just to remove it.
Look
To
at
solve the
that.
problem. It's
And it
so
fixed it. Wow.
yeah.
So I would say actually that the thing to watch out for the most on Shelly on that mod is that since when they designed the Sherman, they designed it for a certain top speed.
Yeah.
And since we are passing that top speed, there's one thing that it's not really designed for that top speed. It's the way that the batteries are in the wheel. And that is the batteries are shrink wrapped, and then the batteries are encapsulated, and then the batteries are encapsulated again. So
just all that heat.
Exactly. It's got nowhere to go. It's got nowhere to go, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the P6. They did not shrink wrap, right? So there is no shrink wrap on the batteries. They're just out there naked.
Butt naked.
Butt naked. And then it's like, yeah, and what kind of plastic should we cover these in? Well, I got some of these plastic garbage bags. How about we make a shell out of that? And then they made the shell, and then you go, right? And then it's like, but then the P6 has another problem, and you got the motor overheating instead. So the thing is, if the motor overheats, it'll tilt you back. But if you overheat the batteries on Shelly and you do it enough times and intensely enough, which still, it will stop you and it will tilt you back and so on, you can actually reach a point where you start getting some permanent degradation to the batteries. You can, it will actually let you, the Sherman L will let you reach points where you can actually damage the battery.
Right. I mean, that makes sense.
So if you live in a very, very warm country,
like me,
then don't fool around with the 009 firmware and stick to the 010 firmware. As Liebken said, do not use the 09 firmware because it will damage your wheel. But I mean, if you really, really, really want to squeeze every single drop out of it, then you can go against Liebken's recommendations and use the 09 firmware. But is this a Shelly problem?
No,
it's not really a Shelly problem.
Nope, not at all.
No, Liebken said don't use it. They released a successor.
Right? Do you guys recommend to charge with high amperage or use like low amperage on charging? This goes for both of you.
Talk about the fast charging versus
the
slow
fast charging, because some of these guys are charging with like 18 amps. You know what I mean? Is that good for these batteries, or is that bad for these batteries?
It's not about chemistry, right? But you are overheating batteries, either if you're riding like crazy or just crazy charging with super power, super high amperature. So it's getting hot, and battery is getting, shorter life. So it's only about this.
Yeah.
So but do you have a chance of these batteries popping because they're being charged with such high amperage?
Battery life is getting shorter. The only way I see it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
See, I always wondered that, man, because I got the Linksys, and I'm thinking of getting a fast charger from Roger, because I want to be able to charge in a half hour or an hour, whatever,
And here's the thing we can say: stick to an hour.
An hour, right? Okay.
1 hour, and that means, and the hour actually is just a translation of the amps and what I would say is tolerable amps for that wheel. And I would just say, stick to 12. Stick to 12 amps.
12
amps. I know it can do more. I know it can do more, right? The recommendation for the Lynx, the OG Lynx, is 13 amps. That's Liebken's recommendation, is 13 amps. It can handle 15 amps, right?
There you go.
The recommendation is to be nice to people, but some can handle being slapped around.
Yeah, a little bit, right? Just a little slap.
Let's follow the recommendation. Let's just
I'm taking that quote to work, man.
He liked that.
Oh, that's a good one. That's funny.
Yeah. The recommendation is to be nice to the batteries, and just because you can doesn't mean you have to. But in a pinch, But just imagine that situation when one day you're gonna be like, yeah, man, I'm gonna ride this wheel so fast, and then I'm gonna go stop over there and get one of those quick tacos. I'm gonna get the quick tacos, so I'm gonna take 30 minutes here. Only got 30 minutes to charge my wheels. I'm gonna put 1 million amps in there, and I'm gonna save 15 minutes of my life. And then you're gonna get a BMS error or something,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna wonder.
See,
You're gonna wonder
that's good
what
to know,
that
Mikey.
flashing BL light is there. You know, that BL light is flashing there. It's like, oh God, what have I done?
Oh.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
see, that's what I don't want to do, dude.
well,
There are better
that's the
ways to
thing.
save 15 minutes, man.
Exactly.
There are better
So
ways to
12,
serve.
12, 13.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
See, this
Exactly.
is.
If I'm in a hurry, I'll do 10.
Mhm.
But if I'm in a situation, I'll do 13. And if I'm gonna do 15, then at the same time, I'm gonna get a revolver. I'm gonna put one bullet in it, and I'm gonna
Spin
aim
it.
it at the wheel. And I'm gonna see which one goes first.
And goes first. And I
Yeah.
think this is the reason why some people they start getting problems with their wheels
Oh
and
man.
they can't figure out what's going on.
Yeah,
I'm
but
like,
they'll never tell you. They'll never
nope.
tell you.
And they'll
They
be
say,
like,
yeah,
oh, manufacturer this and that. Is it the manufacturer
exactly,
or is it the user?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the
Well,
crap
when-
is all?
You know, when Sean went, you know, the Sean that you guys got up there, you know, who's seeing her, you know, Sean.
Yeah.
When he went and
Yeah,
he
it's
interviewed
pronounced
the guy
Sean,
from
yeah,
Leaper
I know.
Kim, they told him that it's good that even after the it's done charging, leave it for an hour so that it does all
Balances
the.
out.
What do you guys know about that, Sergey, Mikey? What do you
I
about
know,
leaving it there?
I know a lot
It
about it.
calibrates the batteries or whatever.
Which wheel are we talking about?
The links.
The links. Okay, so let's take the links then, which is like the worst and most problematic and disaster of a charging method ever.
Yeah.
So let's go super back super quickly to the EX30, and here's
Yeah.
how the EX30 works. You put the charger in, it will charge. It will charge the cells to a point where they are showing 4.225, so not 4.20, but 4.225, which is above 4.20, and
Yeah.
then it will turn off the charging port, and then there's nothing more for it to do, and you remove the charger, and it is done. And the
Right.
very second that the EX30 charger is done, it's done. There's
Right.
no other magic happening. There's no trickling potatoes. There's nothing. But it will discharge. And if you have the charger in the whole time, it will stop the discharge from happening. It will keep it up at 134.8 volts, not 134.4. It will keep it at 134.8. So that's above the full voltage of the wheel. But if you take it out, it will bleed out and go down to 133 or even 132.8. So that it's not
Oh.
there with a glass of water where the water is like almost making a dome on top because of the superficial tension. And it's like, here, Sergey, I poured you a shot of vodka. Here you go. And he's like, you know, and it's like, oh man. And you're going to leave it like there for like 3 days. And then, you know, you just put it in, charge, it's full, that's it. Let it sink and everything will
Let
work
it
out.
sink.
And, you know, and then you got the links, man. And the links only has one charge speed, you know, and that's full blast. So it's just going to get this 5 amps, and it's going to do 5 amps, and it's going to do 5 amps, and it's going to 5 amps. And then you're reaching the end of the battery. And you're reaching the end of the battery. You have all this density of the chemistry in there, and the ions have nowhere left to go, and they sort of like have to find somewhere to go. And you have like 3 cars in a parking lot with only, you know, you have a parking lot that's full of cars, but there are like 4 empty places to park. And these are the last ions. This is like the last half of the volt that has to find somewhere to park. And the charger is going, and the cars are just like, driving around in the parking lot. It's, oh man, where am I going to park? And the charger is going,
And here's
It
another one,
does
Mikey.
too. It's
Is
switching
it
between
good?
the red and green light going off. No,
Exactly.
yeah.
And it'll do that for an hour. You'll go to sleep, man, and 2 hours later, and in the beginning when it's getting done, it's going like, and then it's like every 2 minutes, and then it'll do it like once an hour, and it's still not done. It's still not done, man. You can just have it there forever because every time it's doing that, it's overcharging the battery.
Oh,
200, right, boss?
It's just
so it's
overcharging
passing
the battery.
that threshold. It just keeps passing that threshold.
Yeah.
So, here's another one. So if let's say it's charging, and my buddy's like, dude, let's go ride, and I just yank the charger, take it out. Is that a good thing? And then here's the second question: if it's fully charged, and I live on top of a fucking hill, I jump out my house and I go down, and I'm braking as I'm going down. Could that damage your wheel at all from the regenerative?
Yeah.
End up in the fire. It's
All his wheels out. So the first question is that you just take out the charger. The
Yeah.
thing is, if you just take out the charger, the only reason that we have balancing when we're charging our electric unicycles, the only reason we have balancing is in case there is an imbalance, right? If there is no imbalance, then there's no balancing to be done.
But wouldn't the BMS catch that? Wouldn't the BMS catch that balancing? Even if you pulled it, the BMS will take off.
No, because it will only do it at full charge. Balancing will only happen at full charge. If balancing would happen early on in the charge, when there's so many amps going in, then there's too much traffic. It's just like, hey, you're going too fast, you're going too slow. There's plenty of empty parking spots. Just let the cars go, man. Just turn the green light on. Let all the cars go. We don't need a guy going like, you go, no, there's plenty of space, man. Everyone just go, shut up and park,
Yeah.
And then the micromanaging happens at the end when you gotta like find the spot, and it's like,
So Mikey, when that starts with the links, that red and green light, you can just unplug the charger after that.
You can unplug the charger way before that.
Okay.
And the thing is, if you would use a fast charger, it wouldn't do that. That's a behavior that comes from the charger primarily, but it can also come if there is a mismatch between the voltage of the charger and the max voltage that you are allowing on the wheel, because LeaperCam now allows you to set the max voltage on what it can charge at, which brings us to the second thing. I have set Sergei's wheel 1 volt below the max, so his links will not, his Sherman L will not charge to 151.2. It will charge to 150.2. Actually, if you get a new Sherman L and you charge it at 151.2, it will be crazy imbalanced. It will be crazy. You have to lower the voltage by 1 to 150.2 and charge it there for like 10 times until they top balance. And then you can slowly start raising to 151.2. But if he would raise to 151.2, he lives on a hill. So the first thing he did when he left today is he got on the Pattern S. He got on the Pattern S, and I got on the Extreme. And as soon as he's on the Pattern S and he starts riding down the hill, he starts going. And I'm like, holy moly, take it easy. We just got out. And I said, check what voltage are you at, And then it's like, beep, 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 presses the top left button.
So
and it's
could
like
that damage the batteries?
Oh man, more than that. So, and then he was like at 124. And I said, yeah, I forgot. We're having a slight undercharge so that you can survive this hill, because otherwise you can't brake. The first thing that comes here, 200 feet down is an intersection. And he's like, sorry, bro, can't brake. Again, the regen is going to pop my motherboard. Sorry, bro, can't brake.
So you can pop your motherboard. Can your batteries pop? Can you pop those batteries? Let's say you're on a really steep hill, maybe a mile long or 2 miles long.
The motherboard will take it first, though. The motherboard will take it first.
Popcorn.
Yeah.
And then you'll go flying.
Multiple things will happen. The wheel will crazy beep at you. It will tilt you back as well, and that's great because we need some more braking and regen. But it's just it's just bad. Don't, man. Set it a couple of volts under if you live on a super hill.
And if you can't do that, right? Let's just say you couldn't do that for some reason. Would you suggest grabbing that wheel and doing a speed a dry speed test, lifting the wheel and just
It
letting
will
it
do
fucking rev up and shut off,
nothing.
and that will
It
kill
will
some of
do
that power?
nothing.
No, listen, it happened to me a few times before these big body wheels. What I was used to do, just stay and cut off, stop the wheel, right? To off the wheel and then put on again.
Yeah.
And just continue, just not continue riding down because this was really short way here. So
Yeah.
I just end up on intersection and just cut off the wheel.
Yeah.
I did that on my
But
RS.
Wow.
restart the wheel.
I
The
did it on
question
my
that you-
RS. Went down the
Pardon?
hill. I did
Yeah.
that on my RS 19. First time,
Yeah.
it jumped
Exactly.
on it, went down the hill, and
Yeah.
it tilted back on me though. It started
Yeah,
bending
exactly.
and it
It
tilted
really
back.
happened to me
Yeah,
also.
that's what it does. It will tilt you
Oh.
back.
Tilt you back,
But it's still enough time for it to kill it. Because I mean, remember, my EX30 charges to 134.8. So we got this glass here. We got this glass with the water,
Exactly.
flowing on top. And then I'm gonna go and get my EX30 go down a hill. And what we're pouring more water in here. So the thing is, if it's already there at its maximal superficial tension, and we start adding more drops of water on it because I'm going downhill. So this thing that you're asking is that if you can lift the wheel and do a free spin, geez, there was a customer here once with an Aero, and one of the cell groups was reporting such insane high voltage that I was dying. I was like, I gotta get the cell down. I gotta get the cell down. And I was standing there like an idiot, man, with the air in my hands. And then I look at it, and it's like nothing. It hardly went down at all. With nothing, with no rider, and just free lifting. Have you seen the movie? That old movie, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
where you
yeah.
put the brick
Oh,
on
yeah,
the gas pedal.
when the friend fucking had the Mustang. Was it a Mustang?
Trying to reverse the odometer, man.
Yeah. That was
Standing there
crazy.
like an idiot, just like. I'm like,
That's
you can
funny.
do it.
You seen what he did with that car at the end, right?
Yeah.
That was
It was a
That's
cool thing.
classic.
That was a good movie, dude.
Yeah,
NH
man.
guy, Danny B, the whole show. Welcome to the stream. Guys,
Hey.
we are going to start bringing it to a close. We have gone over the time. We are cranking here. And as my mom used to say, we will save the dime for another time because it's always a pleasure having you guys on here. It really is. And guys, this is what it's all about. We learn off of everybody. And like I said, Mikey, I think one of your most important videos for me was the tire pressure. I always tell people, go check out the tire pressure. But I always learn when I go to your guys' channels.
Thanks,
and
man.
appreciate you, Sergey, for coming on. And if you guys ever want to come on, you're more than welcome. Mikey, any more questions? Any guys want to say anything else before we bring it completely down? The floor is yours.
Just want to say thanks for having us, man. This is super fun. I think this is super fun, and I'm really happy that you asked us, right? And I think this
we
is
got to
super
go
cool.
visit you guys, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. We got wheels for you to play with, right? I got a guest room. I bought a Kermit the Frog from Temu. They're like $10. I use it for jokes and stuff. I use it to insult people, but without me actually saying the words. So it's Kermit. Instead.
It's Kermit, man.
Blame Kermit, baby.
It's actually, since it's a Temu, I call him Kremit because I just reversed the R and the E because it's not they couldn't even spell it right. Yeah.
Timmy's funny.
I think Eli said something right now. One of the previous comments. He wants to get a hold of you. He owes you a free T-shirt. I think he was saying. But let's see if you can get a hold of him, Eli.
Oh, right here for your shirts. Here's the comment.
Someone's been on a mushroom harvest. Damn, that sounds like he's been having more fun than I have.
Spartacus, yeah, man. I got to get out
what
there.
What kind of mushrooms are we talking about, man?
Let's see. Yeah, he said they'll have your T-shirts for you at AVS.
Oh, man.
And there's another one he said. It's up here.
Yeah, he's going to get a hold of you guys.
Yeah, he has T-shirts for you guys.
He's going to get a hold of you guys. Guys.
Yeah.
It's here somewhere.
Yeah, it's on one of those. Yeah, ABS is now EEG, the electric end game. They changed the name to
Electric
it now.
end game, really.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Roger and Eli do it now. Before it was done, I believe somebody else was doing it, and now they're the host of it now. So it's
Okay,
gonna be
sweet.
good, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good
Sensei's
time.
coming from Jersey out here, so
For
it's
the
gonna be real
first
good.
time.
Yep.
Cool.
But yeah, he got T-shirts for you guys. It's on. I looked at the thing now. I can't even find it.
Yeah.
Oh, here he goes. I still owe Mike a coffee run shirt.
There we go.
Yeah. So he's gonna take care of you with the shirt.
Maybe hook up Sergey one time, coffee run. Yeah.
Captain Senden, thank you for coming in. I don't know if we gave you a shout out, always in the trenches with us as well. And guys, again, I thank you guys.
Yep.
Mikey, Green Master Mike, what's the word?
Always, man. Nah, man, I appreciate you guys being on the show. This is something I've been wanting to interview Sergey for, I swear, at least a year now, dude. You know what I mean? Or plus. Because, to me, like, I'm honored by having you on this show because you're one of the guys that is setting, like, hey, this is what we can do. This is what we can do. And there's not a lot of guys like you out there. And I'm honored to have you on this show. Also, Mikey, I love hearing all the crazy shit you say all the time. And I love you guys. And I hope you guys be safe out there and have fun. And, always EUC forever, right?
That's
Yeah,
it,
buddy.
man.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for having us, man.
Great
Yep.
times, guys. Stay in one
All right.
piece so we can come out there and visit you guys, okay?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, boy. You know it, man.
Yes,
You
it's
know it.
gonna happen. So
All right,
everyone,
Sean.
again, thank you so much. But one of the most important things you got to do, remember, you get on your wheel, you ride it like you hate it. You be safe out there, but you ride it like you hate it. I'm Sensei, your
Green Master Mike.
other
And-
two.
And we got Sergey.
You got
We got
Sergey.
And I'm Sergey.
And
I'm
Mike.
And Mike.
And remember, ride your wheel like you hate it, but charge it like you love it.
Exactly. Exactly.
that.
Exactly. Hello.
All right, man.
Good night, and thanks for joining us, everybody.
Take care, man.
Take care, guys.